welcome on board, Zack King Khan. Yes.
Thank you for having me, John.
No, it's a pleasure to have you opposite.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at the name Zack King Khan. Who gave you the King?
It wasn't King. It was like, King Kong?
Yeah.
The nickname King Kong. So from there it became King.
What was someone trying to tell you something?
Yeah, they're saying I'm a gorilla. I need shaving.
So, hey, talking about which shave, are you a hairy type of bodybuilder that needs to be shaved down?
No, I've never really been that hairy. It's only when I've started shaving my body a couple of times. Yeah. And obviously when you're taking the supplements as well, your hair follicles start getting thicker. So I'm a hairy fucker now then, probably.
Oh, and for you that are tuning in, we're going to have a game where you have to have your shots lined up, and every time an expletive comes out from Zack's mouth, you drink it.
Okay.
We'll see if you're still up and in tune in 5 minutes' time. Never mind what an hour or two. Oh. But I'm the opposite. I mean, like you say, when you use it. All the way,
mate,
part of my body I couldn't have to shave.
Yeah, that's why I don't really understand when people say they take him 5 grams of test a week or this and that. Mate, I wonder what the fuck your skin's gonna look like.
Well, you know. Well, this is that's one of the areas like where we found ourselves come to compared to where I've been and from the years before that. I mean, talking of which, we'll cut back a little bit. I mean, how long have you actually been? How old are you anyway?
Yeah, I'm 38 now.
38, right? Yeah, so you got 11 years on me. Yeah. So, when did you actually get into bodybuilding?
I got into bodybuilding when I was 17. Yeah. Like I used to train at a normal Unity gym, where all schools used to go in, it was after school type of stuff like that from college. And I ended up going to this gym every Saturday, training there once a week. And I used to train my whole body just in one go, once a week. Because
I suppose if it's your first time out, it's a good way to do it, though,
isn't it? So I used to train my body every Saturday. So I used to be in the gym for like 6 hours, you know what I mean?
So you weren't doing one exercise for one, but you was doing an entire
yeah. So I used to read the Flex magazine, and I used to just mimic their workout.
But you didn't know any better, did you?
No. But the thing about it was, I loved it. Yeah. I loved training. So because I was training once a week, I couldn't wait to go back because I was in college and so on and so on. Right. So I used to go there once a week, train for 6 hours. Even the gym guy was like, well, you're nuts. Yeah. You need to go home. You've been here too long.
What actually, was there anything that drove you into the gym? Was you doing any other sports or any other activities?
No, I was doing boxing before. Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, so when I was young, I used to do, I went from doing karate, Thai boxing to boxing. Then from boxing, you watch the movies like Rocky and stuff, and you see these guys are muscly, so you're thinking, press-ups going to help me get more muscles. Yeah. So you start doing stupid stuff like press-ups every day and sit-ups, and then you notice the little things change just from at a young age, and basically I was an athletic person. I used to like running around, playing tiggies, stuff like that, going apple scrumping in the summer, playing football, whatever sport.
What kids used to do. You don't see that these days,
No,
do you?
we don't. We see these fat fuckers on the computer playing fucking whatever game they are in their bedroom for 8 hours, and the parents don't even see them.
And that, you couldn't have put it more eloquently. No, but we're going to say it forcefully, but you're right.
Yeah.
I mean, this is where, I've never got my head around it. We used to, I remember when the first video games came out. You remember, the old...
Mate,
we wouldn't spend hours on end.
Mate, I've been to my mates' houses, and I've seen the teenage kids come in, not even say hi to their mum and dad, and go straight upstairs. And the only time they'll come downstairs, they say, Mum, the Wi-Fi's gone off.
Yeah, what does that say, though?
Yeah, what does that exactly say? I'm sorry, but I think, everybody should have family time, where you turn your mobile phones off, you all sit together and have that meal. I remember, if I didn't come home for my meal, my tea, I would get battered.
Yeah, well, that was the old ad. It was when we were kids. It was like, go out and play.
Yeah, and come
back.
Don't
come back until your tea's ready.
Yeah.
I used to go around my mate's house, and it was at Clarkey. And he's like, right, I don't want to see you till tea time. But everyone used to come round to my house. Yeah. My mum would be there and look after us all, and we'd be playing all over. And if we wanted a bite to eat, and then it'd be like, and then he'd, shit, the lights, it's going dark, better get home.
Yeah, but that was childhood. That was the pure of childhood. We was out and about, and we were into sports.
Yeah.
That's how I got into bodybuilding, because I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed doing sport. I love picking between you and your mates. You used to be on a climbing frame and see who can do most pull-ups.
Yep.
It evolves from small things like that.
So you was a very sporty, and I picked up there that the sports that you mentioned are very individual sports as opposed to team. I was actually a mixture of both. I mean, I did football and rugby and tennis and badminton, and so there was a mixture there for me. And I think not everyone's a sporty person who gets into bodybuilding, but I would say it helps.
Yeah, but I think for me that I wasn't really into team sports because I didn't like losing on somebody else's turf, what I mean? Yeah, like somebody else's fault. Yeah. So because somebody else made a mistake and that's why you're lost, and you're like,
you'd be like, you idiot.
Crap.
You're crap, get him off the team.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be playing for Man United at the moment.
It's like football and cricket. So it's like football and cricket was a team sport. So all of you had to play good. Yeah. So you could be playing awesome and you could be scoring the goals, or you could be a cricket player and you could be, doing sixes and making the team
getting all the runs.
Yeah, run. Then all of a sudden the rest of the fuckers are getting out. And you're like,
So there's no empathy or compassion for those less talented, is there here? I'm going to execute you, you're crap.
You're fired.
You're fired. Yeah, Alan Sugar. Eat your heart out. Zack, you're fired.
You're fired, pussy boy.
So, I mean, so you was around about 17 then when you started really going into the gym?
Yeah.
And stuff like that. At what point did you start to notice major changes, and then it started to foment in, hey, you know what? I could be a bodybuilder.
I never honestly thought I could be a bodybuilder or compete as a bodybuilder. The gym where I trained at, when I used to train, like, he used to do a show once a year, like, his own bodybuilding show, like a local one. And he says to me, my God, I've got a show coming up in like 10 months' time, like, later on in the year. I think you should compete. You'll do good in it, because I was just naturally athletic. And I went, nah. I went, let me have a look at what does it involve. Then I looked and you had to wear posing trunks. Coming from a Muslim background and wearing posing trunks, I'm like, fuck me. I go, nah, that's gay. I ain't doing that, that's gay. I have to oil myself up and all this
Fair enough.
Yeah, so I enjoyed the gym aspect of it, training and getting big and stuff like that. But when I realized I had to wear these small posing trunks, I was like, fuck that.
So what then made you decide to become gay then?
Yeah. I came out the closet.
Oh, sod it, get them trunks on and arm me up, baby.
I think it was the first initial thing. I didn't realize what bodybuilding involved,
That we were, but for anyone watching, Zack is not gay. It's just we're just grasping at that little ditty that he brought up there. I don't know. You're not gay, are you?
No.
There was a pause and there was he's going, well, yeah, I am actually. Oh, don't say that, no. Listen, I've got anyway. We're not homophobic whatsoever.
Oh, so, listen.
It can be politically incorrect at times.
Oh, listen, as long as you keep your hands to yourselves, I'm happy with you guys. Okay.
What about my feet? You can't see that.
But the funny thing about it is, whether you like it or not, bodybuilding industry is filled with gay people.
Well, I mean, from the early years, it was, it was. Yeah, I mean, I've had one or two of my own people who've approached me from behind the scenes, shall we say? Yeah, I said from behind the scenes, not from behind the. And it's like, but you know what I mean? And it's true, it happens,
No, but the thing about it is, it's like, when I got into bodybuilding, like I said to you, I realized you have to wear these small posing trunks. And being from a Muslim background and everything, I didn't know how my family's going to react to stuff like that. So it was something I've never done and never experienced. But as more I trained throughout the months that went along, and the more I got the Flex magazine, the more I researched, I thought, you know what? Maybe I could do this. But
how does the way of the lifestyle of being a bodybuilder and what can be entailed in it? Yeah. How do you sort of balance it out with being a Muslim? I mean,
well, it's like any religion, isn't there? Like I said, the main point of religion is you got belief. to be a good person. First thing, forget about what religion you are. If you're not a good person, it doesn't matter what religion you are.
Yep.
That's not going to make you a good person.
Thank God. Thank God for that. I'm hearing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So at the end of the day, I think main thing about religion is some people need it more than others.
Yeah.
To be a good person. I know people who are really religious.
Yeah.
And they are evil people.
Yep.
And it doesn't matter. So for me, like I said to you, I came from a family who embedded Muslim morals into my lifestyle. I have to respect my elders. I got to do this. But this is just general life things what you need to do anyway.
I mean, would you say then that the clear mantra, if you was to sort of forget the religious context per se, would be treat people the way you'd like to be treated?
Yeah, like let's forget about Islam. Let's forget about Christianity,
Judaism,
Buddhism. Let's just forget about everything for a second, and let's just think about if we treated everybody like the way we would want to be treated, with respect.
Yep.
And I think the world will be a better place. Just because this person's a Muslim or that person's a Christian, listen, we all pray to the same God. Interpreted in a different way.
Well, I'm an atheist, but at the same time, I whether I have a spiritual aspect linked into me, everyone has this, has the right to a view and a belief.
Yes.
But let me shake your hand anyway on that, because at the end of the day, you've just said exactly what it's about in my eyes, and I don't care whether someone's pink, purple, black, white. Doesn't matter what you believe in, as long as you're like a good person. You're a good person.
Yeah.
And I mean, some people, like you say, need it more than others. Some people will want to read the Bible, the Quran, all the verses.
Good for you.
Good for you, and that's fine.
Yeah, but don't ram it down other people's throat and make out you're better than that person. No. That's what I hate. That's what I hate.
I would say, like, a lot of people who go to, you can see people and they say, where people go to churches and not. I'm not saying everyone, but they can be the most of hypocritical people, where they're supposed to be so into their book, the religious book they read, and yet they're not abiding by what they're reading.
No.
You know what I mean? It's like,
exactly.
I'll pick and choose what suits me.
Yeah, it's like pick and choose the best bits out of the religion and disregard the rest,
I know.
And then when they're enforcing that religion on their kids, it's like, do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's and I think, a lot of that, with my aspect was with the bodybuilding, actually the religion side helped me because I was focused, what I mean, going to mosque and doing certain things and praying and stuff like that. So it's like going to the gym was like another thing. Going to the gym, training, it was regimented.
Regimented.
Yeah, so I like that regimented thing. Because I was used to it was embedded in me from such a young age. I had to get up, go to school, then go to mosque and stuff like that. So I was always doing something.
Yeah.
And I think, the problem is nowadays is like, religion has been manipulated for people's causes,
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah. And, so people are bending it backwards and forwards to interpret it in a different way. Listen, we're all human. We all bleed the same color, everything, and we need to get on with each other. And everything.
Do you think the way in which the world has gone, we're going a little bit, here we go now, but you can't sit back and just say, look at the world, especially the way it's gone since the turn of the century. Well, the past 100 years. Yeah. Things have accelerated at rapid paces and stuff like that. Yeah. And do you think there's a hell of a lot of propaganda out there trying to, get into people's minds?
The thing about it is, it's like you said, like perfect example is, if a Muslim person is going around stabbing somebody, he's a terrorist.
I know.
Yeah? But if a white person goes around a school and shoots a couple of kids, or he's mentally ill.
It's ridiculous, isn't it?
See how the propaganda is.
It's just ridiculous.
That's why I always say to people, I say, listen, don't listen to the fucking news. Yep. Do your own research. Yep. I go, we got more choices on TV. Remember when we had 3 channels, 4 channels, and that's it. We used to enjoy that, and that's it. But now we've got so much choice, and we've got so many people's opinion, and so much fake news.
I look at the news, me personally, I look at it and just go, let's see what the latest bullshit is, because I can't take it seriously.
No.
And I've been like that for quite some time, actually.
Yeah, it's like, when I watch the news, I always ask myself, why are they putting this news on today? What they're hiding? What is actually going on? And
do you know what is funny, really, and this is what gets me, who decides what news takes precedence over what?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You think about that.
And the funniest thing about it as well is when the news is put out there, how much research is done into that news to say this is real or it's fake. So basically it's gone out there. Somebody could be accused of something and it's fake.
But they're not worried about that, are they? I would say as long as they can get this subliminal message out there and get people to believe in a certain way.
Yeah, it seems like nowadays.
Create panic.
So it's like I said, nowadays it's not about what news it is, it's about who gets it out there first.
Yeah, it was Denzel Washington who said something along them lines, wasn't it?
So basically, and it comes down to people are getting this old news out there first, but they're not even thinking about what they're putting out there. Yeah. And people are listening to this and taking it as gospel.
Oh, they are thinking about what they're putting out there because they want a certain agenda to be portrayed and given that so that people will follow that line.
It's like nowadays, let's just take a perfect example. It's like you go to America and so America's like on a different planet compared to Europe.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You go to America, they're in their own bubble. And honestly,
I've been there quite a few times.
Mate, you watch the news there. They're scaring the fuck out of their own citizens.
I'll give you an example. I was competing in the Ironman in San Francisco in 2003, and that was when, Chris, the Iraq War was really gathering pace. I swear not, I had never seen so much overhyped, sensational news coverage, and the adverts advertising the coming of the news. It was like watching something. Wow, there must be a new war film coming out. It was absolutely crazy, and they gather him and the fever pitched levels in which they get into people. I could not believe what I was watching.
Mate, I was there for like a few days in America and was doing a tour there, and man, I was watching the news and I was like, oh my God, so much propaganda put out there. No wonder Americans are Islamophobic.
I know, exactly.
They're thinking anybody with a beard or his name is Muhammad or Ali or something, he's going to blow them up.
I know, exactly. I've traveled quite extensively around the world now. I've been to Malaysia quite a few times. I've been to Dubai. Everywhere I've been, never once have I had a problem. Not once.
Yeah.
Not once.
Every time I've been to America, I always get searched, no matter what. It's one of them things. It's just a random search. I mean, yeah, sure it is. Then I look in the room, where they're interrogating all the people, and all of them are Asians, blacks, not even one white person. Yeah. You know what I mean? But the thing is, I don't mind them searching me, because if it's going to stop a person from coming in and doing something bad, because I'd rather not be on a plane with a fucking nutter on there, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, fair enough.
So do you think that's escalated heavily since the events of 9/11, hasn't
it? Yeah, it's escalated. But you know what? I think, the problem is, like I said to you, is, us Europeans, we are not in a bubble. No. Compared to the Americans. Americans are more into a bubble, and honestly, it's like you stay there and you watch the news, you're going to be brainwashed into thinking, oh my God, I've got to be scared wherever I go.
I think that's the tactics of TV as a whole, though, isn't it? If you look about it, I'm watching this program, it's all about the word programming. Yeah. And it's the perfect vehicle in which to subliminally and directly program people.
Of course.
Because people heavily rely on this. And
it's like, how many times have you seen something? It's like, do you remember when we used to watch... do you remember Demolition Man?
Yeah, of course I do. Yeah. With Denzel Washington and Stallone.
They said there's going to be no human contacts now. Men and women have sex. Like that, men and women have sex with the, the virtual reality goggles on. Yeah. But look at it now. These sex robots.
I know. Hey, there was a program on the other day. It was on the other night, actually. I didn't tune in on purpose, just by accident.
Yeah, John.
Well,
It seemed like you enjoyed it, John.
It was actually quite fascinating because you just had to giggle, but the amount of research and how in depth they're going to make AI become a reality and make these as real as possible.
It's like these sex robots are now able to cook and clean.
Yeah, but the thing is, at least then they say the right things and you don't get into an argument.
No, you don't. Yeah.
So there might be something going for it. I don't know. I'm not going to knock it. Have you got a blonde one? Have you got a dark-haired one tonight?
You can be on your diet and she'll be quiet.
Yeah.
She'll understand that you don't want to talk. You just want sex and that's it.
Why can you
be quiet?
Why do you still? Are you still sexually active when you're right down at that limit? I could have had about a 10 or 15 women naked doing all sorts, and I'd be like, what are you doing? I just want to go. I just want to eat my food and just chill.
Yeah, mate, 4 weeks coming into a show, sex is not even on your mind. Oh man.
Yeah, but it's true though. Well, all right, so explain. Some people will be like, well, why is that? But especially people who don't understand bodybuilding. But why is that? Tell people why that is the case.
Yeah, basically, you got to remember, food is the main function of your body. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So when you're depriving your body of food and you're doing so much cardio and training, you got to remember you have got something on your mind, what is important to you. And for you to even be thinking about sex, you're thinking this is going to hinder my progress. Like mentally, it's a lot to do with mental, because obviously you've got the test in your body. It's not that you can't have sex. You can't have sex, but you choose not to have it. There's a difference, and I think that's the big thing about bodybuilding, what I've learned myself, but nobody has told me, no trainer has told me this, is what happens to you mentally when you come off a cycle. It fucks. Massive and a lot of people, the reason I can understand now why they come out with this bullshit of cruising and because you know why? They don't know how to deal with coming off a cycle. Like I always say, I go, listen, if you're on a cycle and you're on so many grams of test a week or whatever you're taking, you can't just come off it, boom, straight like that. You have to taper off it nice and slowly. It's like driving a car 100 miles per hour, and what you're going to do, if you wasn't press brake into a wall, you're going to crash. That's what happens to your body. It crashes because you went from being sky high, testosterone levels so high, to all of a sudden you come off everything, boom. Your body doesn't know how to react to that. You start having anxiety. You start having panic attacks. And a lot of bodybuilders I know, I don't want to even mention names.
No, we don't have to mention names. No.
And they have been on gear since they were 18. And they're like 30 years old now.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, is your take that you use, when you use any anabolics, you have also periods of time off?
Of course.
Thank you.
Of course.
This is how it was with me anyway, throughout my career.
Like I always said,
I had one guy who, people who see me in that, and the amount of guys who are saying, but I'm cruising now, and I'm going, have you ever heard the term cruising for the bruising? Where's your body getting a break? Because it's psychological.
Yeah, but the problem is now, people don't want to hear any bodybuilder said they come off stuff. They want to hear people say, like a new guru will come out saying, you can cruise, just go on minimal, keep doing it and keep.
I've heard the guys cruising on stuff more gear than I was taking.
Yeah, mate, I've seen it. It's like, I don't know how they can jab that much in them.
But I don't.
They're a dartboard.
Well, can I be personal? When you first started, do you remember the first time you ever took anything and how it came about?
Yeah, I remember I was training, and a lot of people thought I was taking gear as it was, going to these natural bodybuilding shows, and they think, is that fucking natural? So it got to the point where I thought, you know what, I'm pissed off with it.
And how old was you then?
I was like 24 then, you know what I mean? Yeah, so I was training natural for a while, and I thought to myself, you know what, they're thinking I'm on gear and I'm doing natural shows, and they fucking, already made their mind up. I go, you know what? So I started researching about everything, and I learned that Anavar was the safest one to take.
Was there anybody as well that had you could speak to who was quite knowledgeable, who could?
No,
you was out on a limb.
No. So I was out on a limb. I didn't have nobody to speak to. I had to do everything researched myself. You know what I mean? Even when you ask guys in gym, and they'll just say, I take this, I take that, and I'm like, fuck, that's too much. You know what I mean? So first thing I researched must have been for 2 years before I even took my first cycle. Right. Anavar. So I was taking that. I was taking 10 milligrams a day of that. Right. And after a couple of weeks, then I thought to myself, fuck me, I'm getting harder, I'm getting fuller. I'm thinking, my God, it's turning me into Superman. So that first cycle of Anavar, just boosted me like hell. I didn't even think about going to the injections.
And was you training? Was you training and eating on point at that time, or was you still a little bit off?
Like I said, I was always when I felt hungry.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and I train I love training. So obviously, when you're in the gym, it doesn't matter whether. If I look back at it now, it was more volume training.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
But it was that. It was that was due to your unbridled passion and desire. Probably that enthusiasm was taking over logic.
Yeah, more than logic. I didn't know this exercise did this or that. I just knew I'm going to use every machine in the gym.
And the more to do, the better.
Yeah, I'm going to use every machine in the gym. So I'll be there for 8 hours. I mean, I was at the gym for like once a week for 8 hours. My God, the gym guy was going nuts.
So you actually did you used to go to the gym just once a week and just hammer it?
Yeah.
Well, at least you incorporated the principles of making sure you had enough recuperation. It's one way of looking at it, isn't it, Chris? You know what I mean? We might be onto something here. Because all these training systems that are out there, train like a motherfucker for one day and just rest for the rest of the week.
Like better than now than training 7 days a week.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's how it happened. So you were still not on point per se with your food and your training.
No.
But you only did, like you say, a very, very small amount of Anavar, which is very mild, but a little can go a long way no matter what.
Yeah. Exactly.
So
it's like when I see like people now saying that they want to do their first cycle and they want to do this and that. I'm like, my God, it's like you're jumping into the deep end. You don't need that much.
What do you think? Seriously, what do you think's happened? Why is it sort of flipped its head from back then? I mean, I'll go back. The very first course I ever did was I was actually living in Spain.
Yeah,
and it was a doctor. Went to a doctor.
Yeah.
And he was part owner of the gym. It was a gym called Nuevo Estilo in Fuengirola. I was living out in Spain for a year in 91.
Yeah.
And for ages, I was saying, I'm thinking about you. But I was saying, I'm dead scared. I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was really nervous because I'm thinking,
bloody
hell, they're going to kill me. They could kill me, these. Because you just don't genuinely know.
Yeah.
So then I spoke to the doctor, and he actually wrote out a course. And my very first course was one shot of testosterone enanthate, which was 250 milligram.
Every 10 days?
No, it was once a week, and it was 50 milligram of Deca, nandrolone decanate. And he structured it so that the following week, the Deca would go up to by 50, so it went to 100, 150, 100, 150, 200, 200, 150, 100.
Yeah, then taper back down.
So he tapered down the Deca, but the testosterone was constant, just one a week. And from there, then he put me onto HCG.
Yeah.
So we did all my bloods first before I did anything.
Yeah.
Noticed that I had slightly high liver enzymes, and the reason why that might have been the case was born with jaundice. So it's a bit of yellow baby.
Yeah.
So he said, don't want you to do that. He said, so do that. And he had me on a little bit of tamoxifen, which can still affect the liver. And that's how it was. But I was fortunate enough and seek guidance. I thought, I want to know. And I was in the hands of this doctor.
Yeah.
And he looked after us. But I went home. When I started the course, I was about 10 and a half stone. And I went home weighing 13 stone at Christmas. I started it. The course lasted 8 weeks. So through part of November, all of November, and then went home for Christmas. And when my brother opened the door, and I knocked on the door, my brother opened the door, and he just went like, I went, what the fucking hell have you been doing? And I always remember that, but I don't just purely put things because I was training hard, I was eating well, but I was actually split training, you know what I mean? I knew what I was doing net-wise, but that was my first encounter
but for me, was the reason why I wasn't training split was because I could only afford to go once a week.
Right.
So
why was that? What was that due to?
Just funds, you know what I mean. My parents wasn't well off and anything like that. You got to remember, you got 3 brothers and a sister, so everything.
Man, I was brought up by my mum just on her own. I just fled to go to Spain just to have a go at something different. You know what I mean?
And then that brought me up to my first show because the only reason I competed at my first show was the guy says to me, "I'll give you free membership. You can represent."
Bit like Ronnie Coleman, that, isn't it? That's what Ronnie was like, wasn't it?
Yeah. So from there, like, I thought, my God, free membership, I can train 2 or 3 times a week now. So Brilliant. It was no brainer. So that's what I did. So
people don't see the very, very humble beginnings of how. Where you come from, where I come from, people just see the product where you are.
Yeah, mate, nobody give me fucking growth hormone stack and $2,000 worth of gear and say, go to your dream and be Mr. Olympia, whatever. It doesn't happen like that, mate.
It doesn't.
The problem is, like, what I'm finding nowadays is it's like everybody's on this thing that more is better. I think, a lot of that is down to the problem of, the gear what's on the market. It's all saying like, test 400, test 500. Listen, mate. There is no test 400 or 500. It's impossible to have it in one
You're
meal.
lucky if you can suspend probably about 375. That's pushing it. And that's going to be a painful shot.
Yeah, it's going to be very painful, So, so people are coming out with all this, like, more tests is better. It doesn't, your body doesn't work that way. There's only so much you can use. The same with food. You can eat 5,000 calories a day, and half of it you're going to be shitting out.
Yeah, exactly.
You need to eat enough so your body can digest it.
Absorb it, utilize it.
Yeah. Exactly,
and that's the key, isn't it? And that's I've been saying this for quite well for God knows how long. Yeah. And I've said this before, and I always remember Kerry years ago saying, he said, "You know what? More towards right at the end," and he went, he said, "I truly believe we could have all got away with using a lot less."
Yeah.
And I couldn't have agreed more. And I started using less and less as the years went on, especially towards the end, and I got better. Yeah. I mean, it's not that I was a massive user anyway.
Do you think the problem is nowadays that, like, I think the problem is nowadays the people who are putting this gear on the market aren't bodybuilders; they are businessmen.
I think a lot of them probably are. Yeah. I mean, I can't account because I don't know who's. There are that many different things out there.
Yeah. Don't you think, like, back in like when I was starting off and when you was training, there was better stuff out there?
Oh, you had more pharmaceutical stuff. And it's not to say that stuff that's out here now, even though it's underground labs, isn't right.
No,
but you can't. I mean, it's like not everybody's going to have the same morals.
Yeah. You got to remember, are they putting what they said they're putting in it?
I mean, but a lot of people say, "Oh, it's underdosed." Well, I say, "Well, yeah, that might be the case." But have you ever thought it might be overdosed?
Yeah.
And so you just don't know.
Yeah. So, like, you'll hear guys say, "Oh, yeah, I've took this brand and oh my God, I've got a massive, response from it." Then all of a sudden, they don't get nothing. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like I personally think, the problem is at the moment there's a lot of stuff on the market. What's crap? A lot of it is crap. And now with China copying everything, even the pharmaceutical stuff, you don't really know what you're taking. It is a game of Russian roulette.
It is. I agree with that. There is an element of Russian roulette.
And but the thing about it,
even back in the 90s when it was all there was I remember when Parabolon, the old Trembolone X, that was being faked and it looked bang on. Yeah. So it's always been going on. I just think a lot of the time it can be harder
now it's more accessible.
Yeah.
Before then, you had a person would have to know somebody, would have contacts, would have contacts.
Well, it wasn't like like today. It's out there in the forums, the internet, and this, that, and the other. Every Tom, Dick, and Harry is an expert on gear.
Oh, mate, what people don't realize is people who are talking on these forums, people who are on social media, people who are putting out content, don't take it as gospel. It's like, if you're a guru, what you so call it, and basically you're telling every one of your clients to train a certain way, and then all of a sudden, somebody's not responding to the way of your training, or he's not listening to what you're saying. It's crap. Yeah. So you're only promoting the people who are sucking your arse.
Yeah.
Now, I always say to people, when you see these people, trainers on social media and posting all these clients, I got 10 good clients they've got, I go, they'll have 50 clients what they don't post.
Exactly.
Because they're not getting the results what you want. Yeah. You see, this sport is the individuality. Yep. For a trainer to be good, he has to know your body. You have to give him feedback. If something doesn't agree with you, listen, I can't say to somebody, eat chicken, eat turkey, eat beef, because at the end of the day, you don't know what allergies he's got.
Yeah.
He might not, his body might not handle red meat. Yeah. So, you got to say to the person, you got to tell me how you feel on this. Same with compounds. All of a sudden now people are taking 8-10 different compounds in a cycle, and you don't really know what is doing what.
Yeah.
Instead of having 1 or 2 compounds in your body, and then you start getting side effects, you think, okay, I'll take this one away, then I'm left with this one.
When you pull that back and you look at that and you say someone's putting in, and you think, and even sometimes think back and look back myself, and someone's putting in 6, 7, 8 different drugs. Let's put the word out. These are drugs.
Yeah.
In the body.
Yeah.
Really?
Exactly. Yeah.
The body produces something around the region of 4 to 7 milligrams of natural free-flowing testosterone a day.
Yeah.
So how much do you need to become properly anabolic? Yeah. And sort of like bring yourself up to the next level.
Think, the problem is, a lot of the problem I found is that if you're a big guy and you're a pro or whatever, straight away they think you take a lot more because the amateurs are taking a lot more. Because the amateurs are abusing it to get their pro card. Have you noticed a lot of amateurs, they'll be abusing the drug so much, and all of a sudden they become a pro. What happens? They burn out.
Burnout, exactly. Yeah. Word for word, we said it, burn out.
Yeah, they burn out mentally and physically. Yeah. Listen, but then you see some guys they do it nice and steady, get their pro card, all of a sudden, they're nice and steady again. And then maybe, you know what, they realize they don't want to be taking the next step to go that further. And they want to do it as healthy as possible way. I know it's not healthy, but you can do it healthier. You know, as long as you're doing all the checks and getting your blood works done and things. But the problem is nowadays, it's like he who dares wins.
Yeah, but do they? I mean, look at some of the tragic cases that we get, that happen.
Yeah, that's the problem. But that's what the type of thinking some people have got. They've just got one dimension. Oh, I'm a pro. I want to be Mr. Olympia. Yeah. Listen, Mr. Olympia is like winning the lottery.
Well, Mr. Olympia, there's only one. And, you look at someone like Phil Heath and everyone thinks... And look, I remember, I spent the weekend with Phil Heath.
Yeah.
This was before he became Mr. Olympia. A lot of people don't understand. My journey, I've had some real good conversations with quite a lot of people and been on stage with them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've had, when I look back, at quite an amazing journey and some great stories. But I was with Phil Heath. And we were walking down the Trafford Centre, and he was buying some stuff, and we had some sushi and all that, just chit chat. I was looking after him because he was here guest posing. Yeah. And he said, "Look, John," he said, "seriously," he said, "I just have a natural affinity to build muscle." He said, "That's why I'm nicknamed the gift." Yeah. He said, "I've got a gift. I'm gifted." He was a great basketball player, and a lot of people out there give him some, tough shouts and this that and don't like him. But I knew him, and I found him a really, really nice guy. No, it's very easy for people to jump on this bandwagon and see this, that, and the other. How can you say that about an individual when you truly don't even know what that person is? You haven't even spent quality time with someone to get to know them.
Man, I always say to people, it's like this. I go, listen, if I don't like somebody, I will say to a person, I don't like him. Yeah. I don't like him, but you make your own mind up.
Yeah.
Do not dog him because I'm dogging him.
Not everybody gets on with everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, personalities clash. You know what I mean?
But we were talking with, I was saying about Phil, and we were talking about the game back then. It was about 2000 and I think it was 2008 or 2007. It was around that time.
Yeah.
Thereabouts. And he was saying, John, I don't, he was saying what he used, and it was like, basically, it was what I would be using, that type of stuff. It was
but that's what people...
It was minimal. And he said, and people think I'm doing... And the same with Marcus Rule. You say people think I'm absolutely doing stupid amounts.
Yeah.
Because I know Marcus Rule from back in the day. And he said that's not the case. I'm not saying that wasn't the case with other bodybuilders, but it wasn't...
No, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that every bodybuilder is taking a sensible amount. There's a lot of bodybuilders who aren't taking sensible...
It's the term sensible amount. Is there how do you deem what's sensible?
Yeah. It's like, the thing about it, that's what I said, it's an individual sport. Somebody can... it's like this. Perfect example is, somebody could smoke 60 fags a day and they won't get no problems, no lung problem. Yep. And somebody like me, I could come along, I have one fag a day and I could get lung cancer.
Yeah, you just don't know.
It's just the way your body is.
Yeah, it's like some people have a great tolerance for alcohol and others don't.
Yeah. Exactly. And same with gear. I always said that to people. Some people they are genetically gifted. It's like this, if somebody is telling you the dream of a perfect training where they can bring up your weak points and everything, you ask them, what do they do for their strong body parts? Me, when people ask me, what do I do for my arms? I say, listen, mate, I can lift up my dick and they'll grow. You know what I mean? Listen, I'm not been lying to you. My mind and muscle connection is so good in my arm, I can just lift that PP up and it'll grow.
So if I take a toothpick out and start doing that... No, I'm joking. It's all right, Alice. He goes like that. Try that, mother. Right, so, But no, I know what you say, but it's actually true, isn't it? Genetics.
But then you see somebody, and they tell you, this is how you should bring up your weak body parts. I tell you straight, to bring up your weak body parts, that person has to do 10 different ways of training to find out the one what works for them.
And do you not always think as well, though, but to be a good bodybuilder, also, it's all about the way in which your body structure is. Have you got tiny joints? Have you got the joints that, you know, where
you've got wide waist?
Wide waist. Have you got nice, or have you got thick wrist? You know, the smaller your wrist, the more it accentuates the actual look of the muscle. So insertion points. So it's like saying someone who gets a ball. Most kids can go around and mess around and kick a ball.
Yeah.
Right, you can kick a ball, but it doesn't mean you're going to be a great footballer.
No.
You know what I mean? And I think this is the problem now, is that because you've got the way in which the gym industry's also gone. The gym's gone from that hardcore element, what we were brought up to, because we used to look at the movies and see the black and white pictures, and that's all we had. Forget there was no internet, there was no nothing. It was just wow, how do we look like? That's like superhero stuff, you know what I mean? And so you were going in the gym with that. I want to be a Superman. I want to be the Hulk. I want to be this. And so you then see the way bit like the supermarkets come back, the small local shops where everybody used to go as a hub got slowly decimated. They're still there, but the big chains come in and it's just these giant corporations. And now the corporations are took over on the gym front. And it's watered down.
The true hardcore bodybuilders
element,
because it seems like now being big and muscly is frowned upon. With the way we look now, it seems like everybody's picks up a magazine and says, "Oh yeah, I want to look like him, wear board shorts."
But I just want to sort of interject there, because you said the big and muscly look, the over supersized muscly look has been sort of like a little bit. But if you look at it, all the He-Mans and the cartoon characters with that,
but have you noticed
they've watered it down though? But still, all the action men, the action men back in the day were like normal man, and now they've got chiseled abs, and you know they could do the boardwalk short. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but the thing about it, have you noticed that with the cartoon with the muscly characters like Thundercats and He-Man we used to watch? No, they're no more for kids.
No, they're not.
It's all like little snotty-nosed little cute cats and dogs and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
I don't watch kids' programs anymore, so I'll take your word for it. No, I do try and watch it a bit, but I know where you're coming from. But it's true, because it's what's happened, and I've mentioned this before. If you look at the way the gym industry's gone, it's sort of like watered down the element of bodybuilding, and then it's then sort of like someone sort of come in and gone, oh, do you know what? I think if we create this category and that category and that category, it'll lend its weight to more people who are now training. And so people are not going into the gym like we used to go in and go, we want to be like strong, super sized men. I'm not saying that they're the best. That's how you should look. But that's how it was. We were
but another thing as well was when we went to the gym, we knew we couldn't step on stage in a year.
No, and it's funny enough, when we were talking with Wendy McCready, and we said the same about building the foundation up.
And it's like the thing is nowadays, a bikini girl can compete within 6 months.
Well, bikini girl, with great respect, you see some girls who've never trained wear bikini and look fantastic.
Yeah, exactly. It comes down to genetics. So, for people to compete now, they don't need to be dedicating themselves as much as we had to.
Bodybuilders is the extreme end of dedication. I'm not having to go at anybody who does the other classes. Train.
Not everybody's dedicated in their own way. I don't blame them, but I'm thinking to myself, and now, the reason bodybuilding is becoming smaller and less, because people have found it easier to do the other classes.
And plus, you've got an outlet to do something different.
It's like now, you don't need to even really compete, and you got social media,
right?
And like you remember Rich Piana? He never competed.
Well, he did the California something
ages
like that.
ago. But I'm saying he wasn't competing.
When
he had his brand and everything, and he was more popular than Phil Heath and Mr. Olympia guy.
Because he was coming, but the thing is with Rich Piana, and I'm not saying it would have been nice to have got to know the man personally. At times, I could relate to some of the stuff he said. Other times, I thought, "Oh man, I'm not buying it."
The thing was, I didn't agree with the stuff what he was putting out on the gear content.
When you're overfilling yourself with oil and all that, and it's like, come on, man, that doesn't happen.
No,
but fair play to him. Sadly, he's gone. And
the thing was, he saw a market there.
He did.
And he went for it, and he took it.
Listen, business, very business savvy.
Business is business,
and you can't blame him for that. But when your passion is like ours was for bodybuilding, we see that we were driven by a different goal as opposed to
like I said to you, we weren't driven by social media. We weren't driven by bench pressing 4, 5, 6 plates for people to approve of
and
us. We trained in the gym and we were covered up and whatever, and it came down to the show and everybody was excited thinking, what is he gonna look like? What is he gonna look like? Now everybody looks like Mr. Olympia 10 weeks out, and then when you see them on the day of the show, they look crap. Half of these people were posting pictures are being photoshopped and made to look more grainy.
I don't want to be seeing any of these guys. I want you to keep covered up and just see what you turn up like on the day.
Yeah, and I think
they do the worst thing. They actually, at the press conference, and they're stripping off the day before the show, and you're going, no, I don't want to see it. I want to see you tomorrow.
But the thing is, and then they're wondering why less people are going to bodybuilding shows. Because you're giving them everything they want. If you're giving them everything they want, why are you going to get off your arse and go and watch them? If you don't know what Phil Heath's looking like, or the top 10 bodybuilders are looking at, more excitement, you're going there, you're thinking, oh my God, he's on, he's on. But nowadays it's like, he's looking good. Yeah, I know who's going to win.
The problem being is that it's a bit of a catch-22 because the endorsements that the companies that are giving is the fact that they are now where in back in the day, more so, people and athletes were getting sponsored on their achievements and how they looked.
But you had to be top 3 in Mr. Britain to be a sponsored athlete.
Yeah, you'd have to bring something to the table on that. Now these guys are getting shunned because they might not be that much. They might not be savvy enough. And enjoy the social media apps and all that. So they're going for people who've got millions and millions of likes and followers and stuff like that.
Like if you notice now, like, the big contracts for supplements are gone. Why would you give one bodybuilder just say 10 grand a month when you can hire how many normal people to promote your brand for that much?
And the outreach is
more.
You know what I mean? Unfortunately, the demographics do change. And change is inevitable.
But the thing is,
whether you like it or not.
Whether we like it or not, it has changed. But the thing is, like I have to admit, I don't like the way bodybuilding is going. I don't like the way the marketing media is going towards, because people are using sex to sell products. They're showing like naked girls with their arse sticking out and boobs sticking out to sell a protein.
Not even just that. Don't you think the girls are doing that just to get likes?
Of course. Yeah, they're doing it, of course, to get likes.
You know what I mean?
They're doing.
Oh, look! I've got 1 million likes. Yeah, I wonder because you're surrounded with all that. Oh, look at me! But it's true though, isn't it? They got it's hanging out. I mean, don't get me wrong. They're pretty attractive girls, a lot of them. But it's like, do you really need to have to do that? And it's all about look at me, like me.
Yeah, but really? They just need to look at the comments they're getting. Nobody's buying that product. They're all just saying, "Nice box."
Listen. Or chocolates. He forgot the box of chocolates. She's holding this box of milk chocolates.
Yeah, but you tell me something, Yeah. If I was a supplement company, why am I going to pay X amount to one bodybuilder when I can get 10 Insta whores for that price?
Insta women, yes. Insta whores. Oh, God.
You know what I mean?
But no, I know what you're saying. I understand exactly where you're coming from, but you've got to look at the history of getting people's attention, and whether you like it, sex sells in a way, and sex does sell. And
but sex does sell. But I'm just saying,
I'm not saying sex as in, but I mean, you know what I'm getting at. But let's go back and defend. I'm going to be a bit hypocritical here, because when you get a woman who's got a great body and a great figure, it's a natural thing for a man.
But the thing,
and the same way as a woman would look at a man who's a good-looking guy with a great body. It doesn't matter. Works both ways.
Yeah, but John, tell me something, If you saw a good-looking woman with tits and ass hanging out selling a protein tub, are you going to buy that protein tub?
Me personally, no, because...
Exactly.
But that's me, but I can understand why the average Joe who's... What we've got to remember is, and I know where your frustration is and mine is, because we now... We are bodybuilders. We're bodybuilders who've been there, done it, wore the T-shirt. Yeah. We've gone through from being nothing with a dream to coming out and being up there and being one of the guys where people look to and go, wow, that's such and such a body. Yeah. But you got to remember is this conveyor belt that's constantly going about. Yeah. Remember when we first stepped on that conveyor belt? Yeah. We didn't have a clue about what protein was what did what. We had all these, used to walk in a supplement store, used to walk in the Weeder shop in Manchester, Oxford Street, and I would stand there and I'd be there for about 30, 40 minutes, still not a fucking clue what I'm going to buy. I'm going, and I'm like, what do we get? What do we get? What it is that conveyor belt, sometimes it's easy for all of us to forget. We take it for granted in sometimes that what we do know and what we've seen, but there are them poor buggers that are coming in and they're gullible and they're looking for this secret.
Yeah, but don't you think like now, like bodybuilding has become its own entity? I mean, the main bodybuilding, like 212, open class, and you know, let's add in women's bodybuilding and figure and. The classic is only the good
I understand. But the extreme end there.
Don't you think, Ken, that's become its own entity now? Yeah. Don't you think, Ken, it should be separated from physique, bikini?
Well, we're hitting a different aspect. What I was trying to get to, we'll come to that now, but what I was trying to say was the reason why these things like the sex cells are they're offering a test booster. Well, you know, these are going to make the test right. So you're going to, you know what I mean? You're not going to have a grandma there in a Zimmer frame, are you? You know what I mean? Promoting a test booster. Yeah, but well, it depends on your preference. But I mean, you know, you're going to have a woman who's considered attractive and has sexual appeal, and it's catering, and what they're doing is they're catering to people who are desperately seeking Susan, as in desperately seeking the need to reach whatever their goal is. We're ahead of that to go. Well, that's not right, or that. How many products have come on the scene and come and gone? You know?
But the problem is, then, don't you think? That's what's ruining the industry. It's not making it better.
Well, I mean,
if something is ruining the industry, won't you object to it?
Well, I'm not saying about object it, but I remember it happening in the 80s. It's been like that since the 80s, 90s, all the way through. No, but because cybogenics, they used to do it.
Yeah, but the thing about it is when we looked in Flex magazines before and Muscular Development magazines before, we knew that we're not going to see like a girl from Playboy in there. You know
saying
what I mean?
That, I think it was fair to say it was Muscular Development that changed it on its head.
Yeah.
They then went the opposite way.
Yeah, they went.
Because Flex was more in line, and if they did something with the women, it had a.
It was more respectful.
Yeah, it was. It was done with style and a beauty, a form of beauty and appreciation. Yeah. And whereas the other side, you look at it and you're going, that's a little bit. That's bordering line like on the Sunday Sport.
No, don't get me. Don't get me wrong. I don't mind women, promoting products there and looking like athletes and looking respectable. You know what I mean? But when women are selling protein powders there and twerking the arse on top of a tub of protein, I'm sorry, but nobody's looking at that tub of protein. Everybody's looking at your ass.
Yeah, which is fair enough. Yeah. I can appreciate that.
So
rather than sort of like advertise and try and inform the consumer. Yeah. But then you look at advertising campaigns, most of the time they don't concentrate on the product. They entice people by external visuals, don't they? You know, when
just to throw in the boxing the chicks who
you mean the ring ladies?
The ring
chicks.
Ladies, is that the name? Sorry if I've got the words wrong.
It's all right, mate. We're dragging you in down to our level.
But they've recently been banned. Is that
well?
Right?
It's even the Formula One girls as well. Yeah. I mean,
but is that right or wrong? I
don't get me wrong. Wrong. People say, I'm against Insta hoes. You know what I mean? But normal girls, I'm not. But then people say to me, "Oh, if you're against Insta hoes, then why are you not against ring girls and big and grid girls?" The reason for that is, an Insta hoe is pretending she's a fitness expert when she's fucking not. And she's got a fake ass, and she's doing these band workouts as a home workout, selling it to gullible girls, thinking, oh yeah, if you buy this band and you do these exercises for your ass, you're going to grow an ass like mine. When really not, because the doctor's given her that ass. Instead she should be giving a doctor's name for that ass, for that surgery. Instead of saying this band workout and this fit tee has given me this body like that. I always say to girls, I go, listen, you want an ass? Do fucking squats. Go to a bodybuilding stage and tell me, do you ever see any bodybuilders with no asses? Exactly.
I'm not even going there. The bodybuilder with the ass for everybody, and it still never left me. But yeah, it was built on squats. I understand what you say. I don't think every girl's gone to the doctor and been given this plastic, but I know where you're coming from.
No, I'm talking about the Insta whores. I'm not talking about the proper girls, the proper women who are competitive. I'm saying the girls who have come out from nowhere and all of a sudden I've got 1 million followers.
Yeah, I know.
I always say to people, the reason I ain't got nothing against strippers is because a stripper is a stripper. Yeah. You know she's a stripper before you even meet her. A grid girl is a fucking grid girl. That's what she does. She's not pretending to be anything else apart from a grid girl. A ring girl is a ring girl. She's not pretending to be anything apart from a ring girl.
We got to go back to that, is it right? Who the hell is anybody to tell somebody what they can and cannot do? Yeah. So you have this belief, because you're a woman, that this shouldn't happen because they're a woman. Whatever happened to the adage of, as long as it's not harming anybody and it makes you happy and you're not harming anybody else, then who is anybody to turn around and say you cannot, that shouldn't be allowed? It's ridiculous. It's degrading to the women.
Yeah.
No, it's not degrading to the women at all. It's degrading to the women. The women who get offended are the ones who haven't got the wares or the ability to be able, or the nerve to go up and do what they do.
Yeah,
and a lot of the girls, seriously, and it was to do with one of the F1 ladies who's very, very well educated, degree and all sorts. She got into it. I read and she turned around and she said, and in the end, I found I was really enjoying it. I didn't have to go and where I was looking to do a doctorship or whatever it was. I'm traveling the world. I'm making good money. I'm having a great time.
Why not?
Now they go, and everyone's bowed into this PC pressure. Political correctness has gone mad. We've got these liberal lefty loons. I'm not left or right. A left or right in politics. Politics is run by idiots anyway. Yeah. I'm right in the middle of, if it's right, it's right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like you say, like we said about religion and all that, treat people with respect. If we just boiled everything down and used common sense, Christ almighty, what people get offended at least thing. I tell you what, that's my argument. You shouldn't be
but the thing about it is,
too easily.
This is the funniest thing about these feminism women. These fucking pie munching lettuce lickers. I will tell you something about them. It's like this, this woman was complaining about these girls being ring girls and grid girls, when she was a model for swimsuit wear.
Yeah.
How is that making any sense? Oh, but it was tasteful. Listen, love, that's tasteful to a lot of guys.
There was something on the other day, I just came across it by Facebook. I recognised it. She had a hat on. She was complaining because some guy called her love and all this, that and the other.
Yeah, love.
And then someone posted a picture where she's in this football top with her legs out, and it's like, wow, soon forget, don't you, love? You know, the hypocrisy of it all, and how things have changed.
Yeah.
And I listen,
I tell you
one thing. What the problem is, me personally.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing. Listen, I believe in respecting women. If they want to do something, and let them do it. If they don't want to do something, don't do it.
Listen, to come back to the women issue.
But the problem is, I'm thinking the main problem is women want to be better than men. These feminism, they want to be better than men, or they want to be, instead of like knowing your place in society and being a part of a man, helping him. A woman is a man's weakness, but making it a strong point. A man is a woman's weakness in other areas and making it a strong point. And together, that's how you complete each other. Yeah. It's not about bashing men and bashing women down.
No, not at all.
It's about loving each other and working in harmony.
But that, I know we've said quite a few strong things there, but you've nailed it on the head, rightly, and that is exactly the point.
It's like people said to me, he goes, why do you call these women whores and bitches? I go, listen, whores and women are the same gender but different breed.
Yeah.
I respect women.
But you could call it, it's fair to say, men can come, some men are whores.
Yeah.
Well, let's not use the word whore and tie it down to a woman.
Yeah.
Men can do that. Men can whore themselves out. People, whatever your sex, will whore themselves out. Because, some people will sell out their own bloody mother to move on to the next level. Yeah, and you can't do nothing about that kind of people.
Yeah, but the thing about it is, for a man to be a whore is harder than a woman to be a whore. Because a man has to have either A, money, B, good looking. You know what I mean? and see have the charm, you know. But for a woman, all she just needs is the money part, what she sat on.
Well, my mate used to call it. He said the woman's always in control because she's the gatekeeper, and she's the one who controls the key to the gate.
Yeah, but the problem
is true in a way if you look at it.
Yeah, but the problem is then if a man here can open the locks of many gates. Yeah, he's got the master key in it. But if a woman's allowing many gatekeepers to come into a fucking gate, then she's got a shitty lock. You know what I mean?
Is there any locksmiths out there? You're going to be busy, mate. Oh, this is fucking killing me. I'm trying to think where am I going to go with this now, but this is priceless. But the master key. Ding! It's like Lord of the Rings. It'll be Lord of the Keys.
but you know,
I've got a chain with them all on.
But you know what I'm saying, innit?
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. Yeah.
You know, for a woman to allow to be slept with many men. What guy wants a woman like that?
No, let's be honest about it. Yeah. A lot of men, a lot of men will take advantage of that kind of position. Yeah. What we're saying is that a woman you want to be with, and would you respect if?
Yeah, no. That's what I always say to people. I go, you know, these women what you see on Instagram and showing their tits and asses, and they try to make out the fitness girls. I go, listen, these girls, most of them hate men. Because of the crap they're saying, all these men, what they say to them, the crap that what they say to the women are fed up with it.
But you get a lot of, what gets me is that a lot of them who do that want to get all this attention and likes. And as soon as someone says something, that, how dare you? And you're going, but you've dressed in such a way, you're going to get a reaction to that. I'm not saying, and don't get me wrong, no man has the right to degrade or touch a woman. No way, not a chance, no. But my point is certain people can dress a certain way, they know what kind of reaction, and then they react then in that a nasty way, and you're going, what? And I think if everyone ignored him, they'd be more upset, you know what I mean? But they twist it then, some people, not all.
They're happy, they're happy people following them and liking their pictures and ass and titties on Instagram, but all of a sudden, you make them breakfast in bed and break the door down, and and you stood there and they're like, what the fuck's going on?
They're there and they're hanging out and they're going like that, and a bloke turns around and looks, and they go, what you look? When some women will go, what you looking at? You think, yeah, and the poor starts going, well, it's obvious, isn't it? What am I supposed to say? But what you got to look at, I mean,
I think like you said, and you get two type of women, and you get women who love the banter. And there's women who are really frigid.
Honest to God, you know what? A vast majority of the women I know are great and good, genuine friends, good laugh, and they just bounce along with it. I mean, I'm all for, just not to harper on it, but my daughter's 16. I'm all for women having equal rights, equal pay. Yeah. Why should somebody get paid more for doing two people at a news desk and one gets paid more? Are you kidding me? Whether because she's a woman or a man? No, that should be equal pay.
I think it could just come down to experience.
Well, there's experience.
It's like, with this feminism, talking about women, doing these jobs. Listen, why are white women getting paid more than black women? Sort that problem out first.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying, I mean, I'm on about equality anyway. Yeah. I don't care what, again,
no, but the problem is, feminism in their own right, I've got their own problems but anyway.
Yeah. There should be equal, it's quite touchy, isn't it? But I believe in an equal structure. Yeah. I mean, yes, experience does count. If you've got someone who's been anchorman, you've got to understand. I agree. And I think this is where it can get a bit skewed a bit. Yeah. But if the level of experience is equal, then sorry, but you can't have any disparity in pay.
No.
Whether you're
a man or a woman,
whether you're a man or a woman, or colour of your skin or whatever. No, that should never happen.
No, it shouldn't.
We've just put that to bed, and in simple terms, fairly quickly there. I mean, that is common sense. It just appears that the powers that be just can't work this one out.
No, they're not willing to work it out.
No, they're not.
And they want that problem always there. They want us fighting with each other.
Exactly. Yeah. Why? Because they want us to be at each other's throat. And you don't want a peaceful and harmonious society.
Yeah, because if you're peaceful and harmonious with each other, no money to be made for the big
exactly. Why do you think?
Because everybody's willing to help each other.
Exactly, and this is where we boil down back to what we were saying about
it's like just a quick one. Like I said to you about these women wearing next to nothing and on grids and ring girls. Yeah. But then you got the other side of it, and when you're going to expos, they got body paint on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've seen it firsthand.
Yeah, they got body paint on. You're walking around expos there, and the funniest thing about it is these girls are flirting about with guys there, wanting them to buy the products and stuff. Then all of a sudden, if the guy wants a picture with them, and they're just like got a face on.
Yeah, some do, some don't. You know what I mean? Well, you can't refuse to have a picture really taken if you're in a mixture of about 50,000 people going through, and all you've got is no clothes on, but paint covering it to make it look as though you got something on.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But so like, you go to expos now, you don't go there and notice bodybuilders anymore.
No,
you just go there and notice people like wearing next to nothing. Yeah. Guys are just wearing no tops on, walking around like the dog's bollocks. Yeah. And, girls are walking around looking at each other and making everybody feel uncomfortable. And I think that defeats the purpose of having an expo. An expo was the main reason why I thought expos were for, to bring the bodybuilding community, fitness community together, to empower each other.
Yeah, and also to be able to get a glimpse of, say, the superstars.
Yes.
Do you remember
up there and personal with them, and you're like in awe.
We never had these expos, and all we had was like the magazines, and the magazines you'd look, and then you'd be waiting if there'd be a seminar, and you'd be like, I've got to get a ticket to go and see what these guys have got. These are my heroes. These are the people that whoa. Yeah. But like now, because of social media, people think because they can have an instant access and press a message button, they have a right to find out something. I mean, I got a message the other day asking me questions about something to do with a certain question, and then it veered off. We're on the way. It veered off from his original question to this, and this. Yeah. And I went, whoa, hold on a minute.
Yeah, I this is my profession.
Yeah,
I charge for that.
And
I always said to people I get people who ask me a small question. I don't mind answering it. It just takes a couple of lines. You know what I mean? But when they go from that question to 10 different questions, I'm like, listen, I go, listen, mate. I've got my website here. I've got services. I got to earn a living. You know what I mean? It's simple as that. I can't come into your workplace and say to you, give me 10 bricks for my house for free.
Yeah,
you know
if that was the case. I know what you mean. Yeah,
you know what I mean? So it's simple. That. Yeah, but the problem is as well, what I find funny on social media also is that people are telling you what to post. I'm like, hang on a minute. Last I heard, I'll pay this phone bill, and this is my Instagram account. I'll post what I want.
So what happened there? Because I've never had anybody. If someone had told me to post something, I'll go and tell you where you got to post this.
Yeah, because somebody goes to me, I just want you posting bodybuilding stuff. That's it, nothing else.
Really?
Yeah. I went, listen, there's 100 bodybuilders out there who just post just bodybuilding stuff. Yeah. Why don't you follow them? I go, listen, I'm going to post stuff about bodybuilding, about politics, about anything what's on my mind.
This is your personal Facebook or Instagram.
Yeah.
Who the hell is anybody to tell you what you should or shouldn't do?
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, they're the people that worry me. No, seriously. Going to try and tell another individual what they want, what they expect of them, and what they should be doing.
Yes.
What? Am I missing something here?
We did a vlog a few weeks back, and we had a comment on one of your videos. I think it was the third one that we did.
Yeah.
On Zack.
Yeah, on Zack. Yeah. And it was on YouTube.
We'll cover that in a minute.
And they just asked, they said, stop dramatising things. Can you just make it bodybuilding? A full day of training, full day in the life of Zack. Yeah. Training and eating. Now, how many times has that been done?
Yeah.
So many times.
That's a comment relating to something that's specifically being done.
Yeah.
I'm on about no one has the right to tell somebody what they should be posting if it's your personal Instagram. I understand comments. I understand comments why people say stuff like that. Of course you do. I'm on about if someone came onto my private Instagram or John, now you should stick to doing this, and it's like never had that, and if you did, I'd go, mate, you know what? I'll just tell you to fuck off. Excuse my French. I won't even bother blocking you because I'll have more fun.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but then on the other side of the spectrum, you get people who come on your Instagram and put a disrespectful comment, and they think I'm gonna stay quiet and not say nothing.
No.
I go, listen. Yeah. Look at the state of you.
I mean, have you been? I've been called all sorts of people. I've been called arrogant and conceited and big-headed, but I'm not. Genuinely, I am not. What it is I am outspoken. I have a belief, and in fact, I'm trying to help. I'm trying to do the opposite with people on social media. When I have in social media, I've given out content for people to look at, sensible content, and you just think to yourself, wow, sometimes it's just like falls on deaf ears. No, you know what I mean? It's like, what
I think,
hell?
the problem is, people in this day and age are so used to fake people. When they meet a real person, they think he's arrogant.
Well, yeah, but it's like
blunt, because he's not sucking your arse and he's not lifting you up.
Fake is the so-called new truth.
Yeah,
and that's not the right. You know what I mean?
No, it's like I always say to myself, listen.
There's actually a quote along that lines. If you can find it, and we'll put it up about the truth being the truth now becoming a thing of the past, and the fake is what people buy into.
Yeah.
Truth is not the reality as it once was. People don't like the truth.
No,
they want the truth, but they can't handle it.
Why do you think there's so many experts around now in this bodybuilding scene?
Well, let's get onto that one. Let's go on to that. Come on, don't seriously, man. Yeah. Well, listen, I mean, I know that you've had help just for. I mean, I was with you when Neil helped you, didn't he? Get ready.
Yeah.
I mean, let's cut back a bit. I remember. Do you remember I wrote an article on you saying unfulfilled potential? Yeah. This guy, is he going to be one of these guys who's not going to fulfill his potential? Because listen, every one of us was screaming, "Zack, get your condition." Yeah. And also come back to, do you remember when you asked Kerry Kays what he thought backstage? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And you come second, I think. And was it a Dazball or someone like that? I can't remember who you came second to.
I can't remember what.
But I remember Kerry saying to me, and he said, and Kerry's like me, dead straight. I learnt a lot from Kerry in all fairness in that respect. But he said, and he went, "What do you think, Kerry?" And you had all these guys around you, and Kerry went, "You were fat. You was carrying fat." And he said, and this fucking lot here are not doing you any favours if they're saying that you're not. He said, "Zack, you've lost it yourself because you weren't in condition enough." Yeah. And you went, "Appreciate that, Kerry." I said, "I knew get the truth off you." But that's how I was brought up with Kerry and Matt.
Don't get me wrong.
Like that.
Don't get me wrong. It hurt.
Yeah, but it will do.
Yeah, it hurt me.
But you need to hear this.
Yeah, but the thing was, what I hated the most about the people around me was next day afterwards they would say, "Oh yeah, you could have been better." Fucking hell. Why don't you tell me weeks before?
Exactly, that's no good then.
Yeah.
And this is why when people come and see us, and I've seen it and I've mentioned it before, when people used to go and see Kerry and see me and Kerry would be in the posing room back in the day, come in and he'd go like, how much do you reckon, John? And we'd have a piece of paper each and we'd write down how many pounds we've got to lose. Yeah. And we'd either be bang on or a pound within each other. And you could see the people's faces going, and it's like, really, you do not really appreciate what condition truly is. Now, in 2009, because I know it was 2009, that's when you won the British overall, yeah. And the reason why I remember that, because I qualified for the 202 Mr. Olympia showdown with Lee Powell. Yeah. I went down and spent a weekend with Neil just to I said, Neil, just cast your eyes over us, let's have a laugh. Yeah. And you then went down. You stayed with Neil, didn't you, for 2 weeks?
Yeah.
I'm going to be blunt here. When you were getting to that final stage, was it a case of everything was right, but something then you did something or you panicked in them last 2 weeks?
Like I said to you, for me, what it was last 2 weeks when I used to come ready for the show, I used to get too many ideas in my head what I want to do.
Complicating it.
Yeah, complicating. Instead of just sticking to the plan, you start reading articles and you start doing things and you think, I'm going to try that. And then before you know it, you complicated everything and you strayed from the basic diet what you went from.
So the lesson is
keep it simple.
Keep it simple, stupid kiddie pinkles.
Yeah.
But that's what I've been trying to say to people.
It's like, when people say, oh yeah, carb load and sodium load and deplete and water loading and deplete and a thing. I said, somebody always said to me one thing was, 2 weeks out, when you're in the gym, how do you look and how do you feel? I go, great. They go, why do you want to change anything?
Exactly. And my attitude, remember I was saying, Chris, what's my mantra always been? Try and get yourself ready at least 3 or 4 weeks out. And you're there by you might have a 1 or 2 pound to lose at most. Yeah. And then you just coast in.
Cruise in.
You coast in. I'll use cruise. Yeah. No, but you cruise in and you coast in, and every day you look at yourself, go, great, bang.
Yeah, but you got to remember, in them days, we had Neil, we had you, we had Kerry, and, we had people like Dorian, and every fucker had condition. And, you guys were conditioned. Yeah.
But it wasn't by some miracle or chance.
No.
It's through by sheer hard work and keeping things so bloody goddamn simple.
Yeah. It's like what makes me laugh when people say, like, oh, he's got more harder, dense looking muscle, he's taking this for it. Listen, mate.
No, you build that. Sorry, it's called training.
It's called training.
Year in, year out.
Yeah, building muscle tissue.
Yeah.
If you got to train heavy, you got to build that muscle tissue. I'm sorry, you can't go into the gym and do 10 sets of 10 all the time and expecting to grow.
And not all this flowery, high rep, super, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I don't know. We'll discuss your training and that, but you obviously, by looks, you're a big man, but you're a strong man as well. But the way in which you train, and that's why I've always used the high intensity method, and I've been training with a couple of people and they're nowhere near. I've said to them, you can't afford to train like you're doing because there's no depth and density coming through the look of the muscle. You're just going through the motions. So when you train with that brutal, Brian Batchador said, I said it to him ages ago, I said, we were chatting away about 2 or 3 years ago, and I said, come on, Brian. I said, you're Brian the Brains. Everyone knows you, behind the scenes. Yeah. If you don't know Brian, then obviously it's one of these hidden sort of gems of knowledge and that, and from training and all sorts. And I said, why? What do you think it is with the training? Why the physiques are not? He said, it's intensity. There's no brutal intensity. Exactly. Where you give it absolutely everything you've got into that set. Yeah. You can't give no more. Yeah. And the high intensity principle, it means that for me is that if you're not mentally strong enough, you're not going to be able to do that intense set to the level it should be done at. And that's, for me, I say, it's all right getting a superficial pump, but is it a pump that when I trained with... Yeah, exactly. Hurts. And my mate yesterday was training with us. He come down to see us, and it was like, he said, it's so heavy. Yeah. And it was like really deep rooted, as though someone was pulling from the inside out the muscle.
Exactly.
And you're not going to get that by just using flowery weights and high reps.
Yeah. No, the thing about it is, I always say to people is, I don't care what training principle you do, but fucking train with intensity. Yeah. Go into that set knowing I'm going to kill this set. Yeah. So you can't move your fucking arms, you know. Yeah. Give it everything you got it until it doesn't move no more.
What is your... So coming on to training, how explain how your training is. How do you split it and what do you do?
Basically, like at the moment, I'm training like 5 days a week, Monday to Friday. Yeah. So Monday I do back, Tuesday I do arms, Wednesday legs, Thursday shoulders, and Thursday chest, and Friday shoulders. Yeah. Simple. Right. And I'm in the gym 45 minutes. Okay. I'll warm up first exercise, as many warm-up sets it's going to take.
Is that on each exercise or predominantly the first one?
The first one. Yep. It's the first exercise. Like, just imagine I'm doing chest. Mm-hmm. So I'll do flies, warm up on flies, do side laterals, warm up on side laterals, rear laterals, tricep push down. Any muscles what are going to be incorporated into chest, I'm going to warm them up. Okay. Once they warm up, shoulders are warm up, then I'll go into the first exercise. I'll put on the weight, do like 15 reps, you know what I mean? Second set, then I'll go 12 reps. Then
heavier. Yeah. Increasing the weight as you go along.
Yeah. And then I'll put my heaviest weight and go all out as many as I can until I can't fucking move.
He's flexing them pecs as well. Look at, and I'm like, I can't stop looking at his pecs. It's like, put a bra on. So when you actually do that final working set, again, have you got someone then who's going to spot you? Yes. And so you're doing then force reps? And maybe some negatives?
Like it's pushing me, you know what I mean? Until I can't get any more, until I've squeezed it out.
So basically, in other words, it's like a high-intensity training session. Everything's a warm-up until you go to war in that all-out attack.
Yeah. So how many sets do you do? How many sets do you do?
I don't count the sets, because what I do is, whatever I'm using, or how I use training, whatever I did was irrelevant to what got me to... It all warmed me up to get to that big one set.
That big rep.
So if you look at working sets, it would be, if I was doing, say for argument's sake, it was chest. Yeah. It could be either a decline or incline barbell. So I might have done 2 or 3 warm-ups, but again, they're not really working. No. So I've got to warm up and then have one all-out set, kill it. Then I'll do another exercise. It might be a hammer press or something like that, all out. Then I would do flies. Yeah. All out, heavy set,
straight away?
Well, sometimes I would either do one warm-up set and or I might even just go straight into heavy because I'm already that warmed up. Yeah. I know that I'm, I can just go into a straight heavy set. But I would predominantly say do one warm-up, which is still heavy. Yeah. But then go into your all-out heavy set. Yeah. And that's how we'll do it. And then maybe a good way to finish off a workout would be pick one exercise or two exercises where you do what we used to say, and I keep saying this, the old school flush set. Yeah. So you do a weight where you can get 15, say up to 15, 20 reps out and just flush it out.
Yeah, that's what I do. I'll do my last set is like 30 reps, just nice, squeeze the muscle, stretch
put
it.
The hard density in, the real work's been done.
Yes,
you're not doing that stuff at the end throughout your whole. I don't get me around that.
No, fuck that. I can't be spending gym. I can't be wasting my time in gym for 2 hours prancing around.
But if you're in the gym for 2 hours, don't tell me you're training hard.
No way. No way. Listen, 45 minutes maximum. After that, I'm fucked.
Well, I mean, that's the time frame in which really it makes sense. You know what I mean? And that's why you get, and that's where I say with training, that's how. I mean, even if you look at Jordan Peters, right?
Yeah.
Now, Jordan, when you see him train, he doesn't pussyfoot around with light weights.
No.
It's heavy. It's intense.
Yes.
And I've got to give him kudos on that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, with regards to that, I'm not saying I give kudos on everything he does, and I'm not knocking the lad. You know what I mean? But when I see him train, I go, me, he's an animal.
Yeah.
And he's carrying some serious. I'd love to see Jordan really, really come right down
to condition.
Get that real grainy condition. I tell you what, because he's carrying some serious muscle. It'd be good to see him do.
Yeah, the thing with Jordan, listen, you know what I like to see Jordan is get into that crispy shape of what you said he should do. Yeah. He doesn't need to worry about the size.
He's got more size than for most of us. I mean, it is. It's like the guy. Look, the guy was playing with I think it were 90 odd kilo dumbbells or something, and it was like boom, and crazy weights.
Yeah.
Maybe his goal is to just be big and powerful.
Yeah, big and powerful. Yeah.
But if he really took a change of approach and sort of went, I'm coming to hit the stage and really bring it right down.
Yeah.
There's so much muscle under there, and he could afford to diet away a bit of muscle and lose muscle, and he could look crazy.
Yeah. No, definitely. Like I said to you, he is a pro material in weighting.
He is. Yeah. I mean, obviously, I mean, I listened to a podcast that he did with that Penn Podolsky. I mean, I wasn't... he did go on, and we were discussing about drugs and I was a bit flipping, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That did concern me a bit.
Yeah, like I said to you, it's good that he puts out the content on drugs and how it's worked and everything.
Yeah.
But I think everybody, like you said, you need to be sensible and realize you're not Jordan.
No.
You're not Zack, you're not John Hodgson. You're not Dorian Yates, etc. No. You are you.
Yeah.
You have to find out what works for you.
Yeah.
And only way you're going to find out what works for you, trial and fucking error.
I was given some good advice, and it's through someone who very, very well learned.
Yeah.
And the figure was given to me was around about 0.8 grams per kilo of body weight.
Yeah.
And if you're in that region, and I mean, I'm on about even at top level.
Yeah.
You will be there or thereabouts.
Yeah.
So if someone's weighing 100 kilos, 800 milligrams.
Yeah.
It was a formula. I've never really sort of said that, but I always remember this given out. I mean, I was competing. The last time I ever competed was in the British Grand Prix in 2011. You all know I came second to Flex.
Yeah.
And I was on 650 milligrams of gear, 500 milligram. It was actually 400 milligram in the end because I went to propionate. 100 milligrams of propionate every other day.
Yeah.
And I had 2 shots of tritrembolone.
Yeah.
One on the Sunday, one on the Wednesday or Thursday.
Yeah.
And that was it. And I came in the biggest, dense, you know what I mean? And I didn't overcut the book. 650 milligrams.
Yeah, but do you ever fall into that trap where you've taken more?
Oh, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Not tons more. Because in the off season.
No, but did you try? You thought to yourself, you know what? I'll take a bit more to see if I'm going to get better response.
I only in the off season, the most I ever took was around about 1,000, 1,100 milligrams.
Yeah.
All told. But I only did that for like 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Because I'd use long-acting agents first and then come into the fast-acting agents.
Yeah.
And then there'd be a lesser amount. So by the time I come off, I would be off everything.
Yeah.
And so then when it was time for a break, my body wasn't taking anything.
Yeah,
yes,
exactly.
I might be using HCG and that to get my own system going. And then when that finished, I'd have a break.
Yeah.
And I'd be clean. I wouldn't be doing any of this bridging, and that was and that was done for. There was times where I actually went sometimes 6 months without using gear as well.
Yeah, I said to people, I go, listen, you know, if you're off your cycle and you're losing size, I go, there's two things you're doing wrong. You're not training hard enough, and you're not
eating. Exactly. It's as though to say, I'm taking stuff, so I better just do everything right. And when I'm not, I won't bother.
Yeah, go out, get pissed, and do everything. Yeah, you know what I mean?
And you're constant.
Yeah.
So what you're like, so I've give you an insight as to what I was doing there.
Yeah.
So let's return the favour now. So, I mean, what's the most you've ever took?
Like, I used to take shots 3 times a week, yeah.
Right,
so, Cyprinate.
So you take 3 Cyprinate?
Yeah, 3 Cyprinate. 250
milligrams each one? Yeah, so that's 750 milligram?
Yeah, 3 Cyprinates, 3 equiposes.
And what strength was the equipoise?
200.
So you're up to 1350, yeah?
Yeah, and then I would just take, oxys, 1 tablet a day. But,
so there's 350 milligrams, it's 50 milligram a day.
But I take them for the first 2 weeks to get that into my system.
So you're up to the 1700 milligram. Was there anything else?
Yeah. Just the GH then.
And how much GH was you on?
Yeah, I would take in 5 IUs.
And how would you take that?
I would take that in the morning, first thing.
All of it in one go?
Yeah.
Right, okay. So you didn't split it or anything like that?
No.
See, I used to split, any time I used to use GH, I'd split it in, say, 2 IU slots.
Yeah, no, don't get me wrong. I've done it.
No, I'm not saying it's right or wrong.
No, I've done it where I've split it morning and afternoon.
Yeah.
I've done it, taken it before training, after training, everything. Yeah. But I just found out for me, I liked it better in the morning.
Was there anybody who was there somebody who told you to do that, who had a bit of knowledge on endocrinology?
Yeah. Before, like, what I used to do was I used to take like growth, every day. Yeah.
Right.
And then when I was talking to Dorian and everything, he goes to me, "But you're taking, just say if you're taking 50 IUs a week or something, split that into 3 doses and take that over." Split it into 3 days.
Right. So I said that, did it?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
So I said to him, I'll try that. So and I did, and it worked good.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
What did you notice from it?
Just fuller.
Did you not get crazy pumps off that?
Yeah, just fuller.
Was you using, if you don't mind, did you use any insulin alongside that?
No, there. Like I said to you, I have used insulin.
What are your views on insulin?
Like I said to you, insulin, the only good thing about insulin is you get that pump. The artificial pump, what you get. But the thing about it is, once you've not taken it,
do you believe it builds quality muscle tissue, or assists in the process of building quality muscle tissue?
I think training assists in quality muscle tissue. Yeah. Everything else is just the icing on the cake. Yeah. I can't say like growth will build quality muscle tissue, or insulin will do it, or gear will do it. I think if your training and your food is the foundation, everything else is going to put the cherry on the cake.
In other words, and I've said this before, said it, I'm sure, when I was with Wendy, there's no drug that makes you train like a lunatic, that will make you train with brutal intensity.
No, it's just all heart. It's all heart
and mindset, isn't it?
Yeah, I've noticed that people are scared to fucking train hard.
Yeah.
Scared to train hard. It's like this, I've trained. I remember I had a guy come and train with me. He says to me, "Oh, how long is your training session?" I went, "Oh, how long it needs to be?" He goes, "Oh, so it's not an hour." I went, "No, it's like how long it neady to be. Could be 30 minutes, could be 45, could be an hour." Yeah. He goes, "Oh, I want to pay for an hour." I went, "Okay, no problem."
I'll pay for an hour.
Yeah,
so you'll be crying after 15 minutes. Going to go home,
mate. He warmed up. He went in. After 20 minutes, we were huffing and puffing like a pussy. And I said to him, he goes, "Oh, man, are we done yet?" I went, "No, you got 40 minutes left." I made him do 1 hour.
Yeah, well, he was coming the big I am, wasn't
he? So I made him train 3 body parts. Simple, because he couldn't train that body part. He couldn't move his arms anymore. Yeah. He could not move his arm.
Did you train him again since then?
No.
How to retain a client.
But that's the problem. Is like, listen, I'm not going to train you and feed your fucking head and ego and say, "Oh, yeah, that's enough now. Don't do any more." Listen, you're my client. You represent me. Get fucking working hard. Right.
I think you was going to interject then. Can I just stop? Because I need to go to the toilet.
Yeah, sure. I've just got some questions for Zack. That's all.
Just wait 1 second.
Yeah. Zack, these have been sent in by social media. Just a few questions for you if you want to answer them.
Go ahead.
Sam from Rotherham. How did you cope mentally after your injury? Your leg injury. How did you cope mentally?
I didn't cope well, but but the one thing I knew was, when the doctors give you the depressing story saying that you might not squat again and this is what you've done to yourself, you're never going to be the same again. Yeah, it does put you on a downer, But then I just thought to myself, you know what? I've seen other bodybuilders who have had similar injury and they've come back. So I'm going to learn from their mistakes. They try to come back too soon. So I took more time, and I knew I was going to be back. Mentally, I knew I'm going to step back on stage, and which I did. And you have to believe in yourself. There's only two ways you can go. You either can dig yourself a deeper hole and go into that dark tunnel, and it's going to be hard for you to get back out, or you just got to snap out of it. Be around positive people who are looking for your best interest. You know, you are going to have days when you're going to feel down and you can't do shit. You know, I'm 6 months in braces, man. Fucking can do fuck all. But I went into the gym and still trained my upper body. Yeah. You know, I did something.
How does that affect your training? Does it affect your training now, the way you train?
Oh, yeah, like I said to you, mentally it affects my training all the time because I'm always like self-conscious, you know what I mean? So I always make sure that I'm warmed up properly, you know? The way I see it is like this, you can get injured doing anything. You know, when I got injured doing my legs, it wasn't like it was something I never did before. I've done that weight before 20 times. Yeah. Just one of them things. That's what I always say to people. You can warm up, do everything, but some reason that day, your mind and muscles don't connect and snap.
Yeah, that's fair enough. This is Mo from South London. Yeah. Have you had a different approach to a show since becoming a pro?
No, exactly the same. Kept everything the same. Why do you need to change anything? Only approach you have different coming into a show, you learn more about your body. So there's things you find out about your body all the time, then you think, I'll implement that next time from the next show. You know? Yeah.
Okay. Davey from Newcastle. I love your no BS approach. Would it be fair to say you have a Jekyll and Hyde tendency?
Yeah, definitely. You have to. You got to remember, in a gym, you have to be a maniac. And out of the gym, you don't need to be that person. So, you know, I'm not the type of person who's going to talk about gym. I'm going to have an awesome workout today. No. As soon as I step through them doors, boom, time to train. Time to do what I got to do. No messing about.
Do you relate to that, John?
100% it is.
Jekyll and Hyde.
Well, yeah, because, you know, it's like some people when they try and I've had some like set twos on when I look back over the years. And I think a number of people have, because it's a bit like being a boxer when you're in sparring. You know, even though you sat in the corner trying to get your breath to go out to do another 3 rounds, you don't want somebody coming over and say, "Oh, you know what I mean?" Even when you're in between sets, you're zoned in. That's your time, and this is what people got to understand when you're training at the level that Zack is and I was, and what we were trying to attain. It was for that moment. That's our job. It was to get a job done. It wasn't sort of like social time and just to kick back and brush off the cobwebs, like it will be for a lot of people.
I suppose it's your job, but you're the boss.
But you've got to stay focused. Now, I used to say to people, listen, I haven't got a problem. I'll talk to you beforehand, and I'll talk to you afterwards. Do you know what I mean? But when it's game on, and then as soon as I walk with my training gear on into that gym, it's like, and everyone's, it's like, boom. They knew I'd keep my head down to the ground, and it would be a case of, yeah. And when I was getting ready for a show, no one never come near me. But if they did, it was like, I have let off steam. Not saying necessarily I could have been a bit more polite, but because I was so wired up and so in that zone, it was like, just don't come near me.
Zack, do you ever find it difficult to come out of that zone once you finish training?
No, I don't find it difficult. Yeah, I think it must be my multiple personalities.
No, but I think that it's the same. I think that's right. Once you're done, you're going, right, I'm cool now.
You know, the thing is, I don't need that aggression outside the gym.
No.
That aggression is released in the gym for a reason. Yeah. Because that aggression is dangerous. I don't want to be holding on to any aggression after that gym session. After that gym session, I have to say to myself, I'm fucked. I haven't got energy to move my arms. I just want to relax.
It's channeled.
Yeah. It's
channeled for a positive purpose.
Yeah. It's like, the thing is then, what good is that aggression outside the gym? I'll kill somebody. Well, simple.
That's it. Yeah, but it's right, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can control how you utilize your emotions and and everything, like you say, that you do, that absolute raw power and call it an anger of some kind. It's not so much you're angry about anything, but it's that aggression is a positive aggression used in a positive manner.
Yeah.
That's what bodybuilding should be.
Yeah, of course it is, yeah.
Okay, I hope that answers your question, Davey. Next up is Chris from Palm Bay. You are great on camera. Do you see yourself moving into films or TV at any point?
If there's any directors out there, producers, nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
Yeah, that stands for what, if you're looking for a short-ass midget Oompa Loompa, Willy Wonka takes steroids. Oh no, he's Oompa Loompas do.
Me and John can do the new version of Twins.
Hey, that'd be good. How have you become his brother? And you were born where? And you were born where? Well, don't even go there. That'd be an interesting one.
We'll look onto that for a new NAPA TV production, I think.
Hey, there's so much. Hey, you could do some cracking stuff.
Well, you know what they do say, we are all related, you know that.
Yeah.
So you know.
But where did we come from, Zach? Because we were talking about the Anunnaki before. Were we created by an alien race? That's what I want to know.
And cue the conspiracy section.
That's right.
Let's go.
Just quickly.
Let's go.
Yeah. Listen, I just got to say.
Because we were having a little chat briefly before about religion and stuff like that. And it's nice that you've put to rest the nonsense about religion and all that. And you couldn't have said it any better. But it's really interesting that you mentioned the Anunnaki.
Yeah, it's like this thing. Look at where we are now, We can clone monkeys.
Yep.
We can clone the sheep and everything. You're telling me we haven't cloned humans?
Mate, this has only happened in less than 100 years.
Yes, yeah. And so imagine if there is a civilization out there what's millions of years more advanced than us. So you're telling me they can't do what we've done?
Do you find it hard that people could seriously consider, each their own, but could seriously consider, out of the vastness of the universe, they reckon there are more suns, never mind planets, suns that obviously harbour life through its own particular system. There are more suns out there than there are grains of sand on this planet. There is trillions, gazillions, God knows how much.
Mate, the way I see it, if there is a God there, why would he have just created us? End of the day. And another thing, when you look at it, just on this planet alone, how many different species is there? The half of the species we don't even know about. We're learning about new species every day.
Exactly, and to think if there are life forms out there, it's fair to say that many will be hundreds of thousands and if not millions years ahead of us. They're probably looking at us. I'm just saying it as that. And thinking,
don't you think mobile phone is alien technology?
Well, I believe a lot of the technology that's been coming through vastness.
Yeah.
I think it was Eric von Braun, the one who did the rocket scientist. He was the one who said, when he asked, he said, yes, we have had outside intervention help.
Yeah. Do you remember when people used to say, Area 51, UFOs, and you saw the stealth bomber for the first time and you thought, man, when people don't know about technology, they are UFOs. It's like, look at now, drones.
Yeah.
How do they fly?
Yeah, exactly.
So you're telling me all of a sudden they just come out now?
Yeah.
Exactly.
So what is your take? So the Anunnaki basically is supposed to be this race that I don't know whether they descended from the planet Nibiru or whatever, but these scriptures that have been deciphered were found in Samaria, which was Babylon, now known as Baghdad.
Baghdad, Iraq.
So that there was a central point. So what is your view with regards to that?
End of the day, it's like this. You got to ask yourself one thing, and there must have been civilization more advanced than us. Look at the pyramids. We can't even build them now.
I know, exactly.
And for somebody to have built them pyramids, look how much technology we need.
And it's not just building the pyramid, it's inside.
No, it's all to do with the stars.
Aligning up with the Orion's belt.
Yeah. So obviously somebody who was, building the pyramid wasn't from Earth, who came to Earth. Because how else would you have known all this? Yeah,
and not just that. Do you know how many? Here's one for you. Do you know how many pyramids there are around the world?
Well, I know there's the 3 of Giza.
Right. And search it up and find. Put in how many pyramids are around the world. You will be gobsmacked at the answer.
Yeah, there's loads. Yeah, especially South America, everywhere.
Over. Yeah. So the point is, and there are lots of stones that have been moved and put into place where you think these stones weigh thousands and thousands of tons.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, I love all that stuff.
Yeah.
Find it
No, I
fascinating.
love it as well. You know what I mean? It's like people see and go, "Oh my God, what is he talking about?" That. Listen, I think to myself, if you haven't had these thoughts in your mind, then you're a liar.
I mean,
No, we've all had thoughts about the universe and can we only be the civilization? The planet?
What's it all about?
Like if you think about it, just 40 years ago, 30 years ago, we had the computer, what was the size of a room, to do simple.
And they're more powerful now.
Now we got a phone. If you look at your phone, we can take a picture. Your image comes on this phone. Yeah. And I can print it on a paper, or I can send it to another person on another side of the world. Yeah. How does that work?
Exactly. It's you know, we take, this is the thing that everything is just took for granted. I used to watch the television and think, did little men used to run up and down the cable and then pop up in the television? You know, daft things like when you were a kid. How the hell does that happen? It's great.
And we're broadcasting now live around the world to millions and millions of people, really.
Yeah, well,
potentially.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. Social media on that aspect, bringing people together is beautiful. It's beautiful. Bringing people together is beautiful. It's like the only aspect about social media, like I don't like with the technology side, it has messed up the sport. That's the only thing. That's the only thing. You know what I mean? Whether we like it or don't like it.
Well, it gives a voice to everybody.
Yeah.
And some people really. I'm not saying you can't curtail a voice because you got to stand for the First Amendment in life, which is the right to freedom of speech. Yeah. Irrespective of how much you may disagree with a person, everyone we have to, no matter what. And then if someone says something, then there might be repercussions, but you can't stop somebody saying something. You know what I mean?
Just found a result here. There's over 1,000 pyramids in Central America alone.
Exactly.
There's 220 in Sudan alone.
Yeah.
I've not got an actual figure.
They're all over the show. They're all over the show.
And the way, and they can't even build these pyramids now.
They couldn't. They're going about building the pyramids of Giza.
Have you seen the History channels? And they tell you how they built the pyramid. They said, "Oh yeah, they rolled the big stone on the logs there, and 100 people did it."
And then you've got other academics who are going, "That's absolute crock of crap."
Yeah.
You got the debate with climate change.
Yeah.
The ones who are out there saying there is climate change, they're all being funded and lobbied, and then you've got a load of other scientists behind it all who are going, hold on a minute, this isn't happening. And this is what gets me. I would love to see a big, massive debate. This lot on that side, that lot on that side. Bring your proper evidence. Proper evidence. Yeah, but let us have a look.
Yeah, it's like climate change is now.
It used to be global warming.
Yeah. But now the thing, it's like climate change is man-made. The saying now with these massive antennas and stuff.
What happened? Well, we had an ice age, didn't we? Yeah. Did we not? All right. So 10,000 years ago, what happened? Did all the woolly mammoths suddenly start making massive energy plants and start driving diesel cars and all that? and then better stop doing this. Bit too late. Ice age melt. So it's obvious that the world goes in cycles.
Yes. Everything is
cycles.
Everything is happening.
I'm not saying and listen, I am for the agreement where, the amount of rubbish that's being pumped into the oceans and affecting life, that's wrong. I mean, that's humans being lazy as well.
Yeah, but the thing is, not only the rubbish was being pumped into the ocean, it's like the rubbish what is being pumped into the food chain.
Yes. That's another level, yeah.
It's like, I'm not being funny.
Do you think that deep down is a deceptive way of creating more illnesses to prop up the pharmaceutical industry?
Of course it is. It's like if there were cures out there, and there is cures out there, but it's not profitable. If everybody's cured, if there's a cure for cancer and everything, it's not profitable.
It's better to treat and make a fortune than to lose all that profit and cure it.
Yeah. The thing about it is like you look at the crap was injected into animals now, and we're eating this, and you're telling me we're not going to have repercussion on this. It's like, honestly, it's like, it makes me look at myself being a bodybuilder. I'm thinking I have to eat so much meat and stuff like this, and I don't like that fact. I would love to stop eating meat because of this reason. I've seen the conditions some of these animals are kept in, and I've seen how they're treated, and it is bad.
And there's one thing the one word that sums up the human race and why it will continue. Know what that word is?
What?
Apathy.
Yeah.
they'll go, and then within a week, like,
so forget about it.
EastEnders is on, Coronation Street's on, Emmerdale's on, and it's back to normal. Oh, it's Britain's Got Talent.
Yeah.
And apathy kicks in, and they all go back. And like you say, I think there's a lot that goes into the food system and the food chain and water.
So you're telling me something.
People down a bit.
You're telling me something. Do you think it's right to eat a sheep and not eat a dog?
Do I think it's right to eat one or the other?
Yeah.
Well, again, I mean, people are conditioned to say, well, dogs are pets.
But
in other countries, it's considered as an animal where they may need to eat that to survive. What is right and what's wrong? That's what I mean. Yeah, that's what I mean. But isn't it weird that we are conditioned that it's okay for us to eat a sheep but not a dog? But then we see like Chinese people culture, they prefer to eat a dog but not a sheep. Well, look at what in the Muslim world. Can't eat pig. In Hindu, is it India? Cows are like
but the main reason in Muslim religion why we don't eat
I know why you don't
because it's the only animal what eats its own feces and it's the only meat what you can't recook again, reheat again.
With
so that's the reason we don't eat that animal, you know, what eats its own feces. But apart from that, like as bodybuilding, people don't want to eat.
I've seen one or two videos but won't go into that. Sorry. That's brought a load of soda. But I understand where you're coming from, but like with the cow, that the cow is sacred in
India.
And yet look at the rest of the Western world, eats how much beef.
Mate, and how they treat these cows.
Well,
my God, you know.
I know. Well, you look at some and the chickens and stuff like that. But again, you know, that's down to an individual who's not quite right.
Yeah, but you see, there's so much, you know, we are conditioned to think and act like because we've been brainwashed. We've gone to school and education and we've learned a certain way. Our times table, we have to learn the pi square of this, and we've got to learn that. But they never taught us real life stuff.
Yeah. So I've been saying, having this conversation is quite interesting with my daughter recently about education and a number of people. Isn't it funny that the education system has not altered one bit, hardly, in the curriculum per se? It's still the same standard format. You go in at 9 and you're coming out, blah, 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 blah. In over 100 years, and yet things have changed so dramatically.
Yeah, you know, like I said,
nothing's changing or adapting to.
It's like
working to a kid's abilities.
Yeah, it's like I was never academically clever in school and stuff like that. You know, I always felt like I didn't have the attention span to be sat in a lesson for an hour and stuff like that. And you know, it's sad because after I went to school, I didn't come out with no GCSEs, you know. It wasn't because I wasn't clever. I wasn't interested.
In other words, you was bored.
Yeah, I wasn't interested.
Yeah, it didn't engage you. It didn't inspire you.
Yeah, you tell me something, just because you wasn't reading something and memorizing something, that person makes them more clever than you because they can memorize something.
Well, education is about to inspire and get people to think outside the box and create ideas. Yeah. Just to remember, I had this argument with Chloe's, but we're having a discussion, and it could have been a big argument, but and even a moment I had to curtail it a bit. And she was so hell bent on about literacy, and it's like, I couldn't give a toss about Shakespeare and that. You don't need it.
I'm going to jump in here if that's all right. I worked in education for 8 years.
Yep.
And don't get me wrong, it does lend itself to progression to develop an individual's skills in certain academic things.
Positives.
But at the end of the day, it is a memory test.
Yeah.
It's a memory test. Do you remember how to do this calculation? Do you remember who won the First World War? Do you remember X, Y, Z? And it is a memory test. There's no skill involved as such. To some degree, there is in a practical test, but when you're sat in an exam, you're just reciting things you've had to remember. And if you've not got a great memory, you're not going to succeed.
And you're classed as dumb. And that's so wrong. Because some of the most creative minds and talented people will have a talent that is way outside the remit of what that's all about.
Exactly. It's like I would have preferred if I went to school and they taught me how to do plumbing, how to cook food, how to do gardening, how to open a bank account, how to manage my money, how to get a job, how to dress for an interview, how to act with certain people, how to talk to people. You know, life skills, not bullshit skills.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
and that exactly. And this is what my daughter was sort of saying to me in a way. She says it's just some classes she can be inspired by because of the way a maths teacher. She says he's great, and I met him, and he really is. And the way he was, and what he expected from her, was I don't care about what grades you get, Chloe, in that respect. Because that's, if I felt like that, it's all about reflecting good on me. He says, as long as you do your best and you're happy with that, he said, because beyond that, there's a lot more going on. First and foremost, I see you as a person. Secondly, I see you as a student. And their English literature teacher was the she saw was a student. If you don't get the top marks, that's bad on me. And I'm good at what I do, blah, blah. You know, that type of thing. All ego. And it was like quite sad on that side.
We're just coming up to 2 hours now.
Right. Well, hey, you know what I mean? We've covered some crazy shit, man. So, I mean, so this is interesting. So you actually turned, we're going back now into to the bodybuilding pro. You turned pro in 2009.
Yeah. 2010, I had my injury with my legs.
And if I remember rightly, I remember Neil Hill saying that you went from... And then you went straight into heavy hack squatting.
Yeah.
Was you told not to do that?
It wasn't that I wasn't told not to do it. No.
He's lying. He's lying.
No.
I can tell.
No, it wasn't that I wasn't told not to do it. It was like I went into the gym and I was feeling strong.
Yeah.
And it just happened.
And was it both knees?
Yeah.
So please explain what you just done a show. Had you not long since done a show?
No, I got my pro card, everything.
Oh, that was after your pro card.
Yeah. I got my pro card. I guest posed at Pittsburgh with Jay Cutler, Ronnie Coleman, Dexter.
Yeah, because they were freaking out, weren't they? Who is this guy? Look at the size of him.
Yeah, and then come back to UK. Time to put my head down, start training hard again. You know what I mean? Yeah. And basically, I did the weights what I normally did all the time, and all of a sudden I was on the third rep and pop in one leg, and then all of a sudden second leg in the other leg, and I knew I've done something.
I mean, was it excruciating pain, or was it sort of like
it was just it happened so quick, like you just go before you even realize it, and then it's like the weight was like coming down on me. But looking for my training partners, they grabbed the weight, and I just fell forward on the floor. I couldn't move my legs. Yeah.
So so what happened? The ambulance?
Yeah, they phoned ambulance and they said to him like, "Listen, there's a big guy here. You know what I mean?
There's a big guy here.
You'll need help lifting him up."
Oh,
so this woman comes in and she goes, "Oh, where's this 19-year-old girl? Not 19-year-old girl, 19-stone guy."
Is that what she said? Yeah. So I mean, no, I've never touched. Luckily for me, in touching wood, you know, I've never ever experienced some kind of injuries. I mean, when that actually, at that time, that happened and you was laying on the floor, seriously, what must have been going through your mind?
I just thought it's over.
How did you feel?
Devastated.
Bodybuilding's your life, isn't it?
Yeah, devastated. I was going, it's over now. That's it. It's over for me.
So what happened? What was, then when you got to hospital and the specialist saw you,
the thing is,
when was you given the sign of hope?
Listen, it was so crazy. It's like, I went to a hospital on a Friday, and doctors told me they couldn't operate me until Monday. So weekend, I was in bed bound.
Wow.
Yeah, so I had a lot of thinking. And you're thinking the worst case scenario, everything, you know. Just thinking, my God, I just got a sponsorship. What's it now?
Nutrex.
Yeah. With Nutrex, I got sponsorship. I just thought, what's it now? I just got my Flex sponsorship magazine, and you know, I had a show planned to do this year, all this lot, and now all of a sudden I'm in bed, got this injury. Fuck me, it's over. You know, devastated. Mate,
what was the response of the people who were sponsoring you when they found out?
There was Nutrex were fine. They said to him, "Listen,"
because you was with them for quite a while, weren't you?
Yeah, they said to him, "Listen, at the moment, just recover, and we'll take it from there."
Right.
So you know what I mean. I go to him. Well, I don't know what I can do with that. I can't compete no more for a while, and you know, so I understand if you want to get rid of me. Yeah. So you know, which I expected them to at the time, but they didn't. So what happened was,
And that's good. I mean, that's really,
very good. I respect them for sticking by me.
A lot of kudos.
I got nothing bad to say about Nutrex at all. No. Since we parted our separate ways, they went for a different direction compared. You know, what I mean, I love their products. I love the team there. Awesome company to work for. Yeah. If anybody gets sponsored by a company like Nutrex, guys.
Is there anybody at Nutrex that you'd like to give a shout out to? Who used to
Larissa. You know, she's an awesome girl. I used to work with Natalia. I used to work with what's his name now? Oh God, I forgot his name. There's Troy Elves there. You know what I mean? Yeah. So there was all these guys there. Group. So we had a good team there. You know what I mean? And it was awesome.
And then Flex as well. Were they understanding?
Yeah. Flex wasn't understanding.
Were they not?
No.
Well, we've got to touch on these issues, Chris. Don't look like that now. No, but it's like, why? What happened there?
They ended my contract.
So you've got one who's very understanding and one that goes cutthroat.
But
we can't put you in the magazines.
Yeah, but it is what it is.
It is, isn't it?
It is what it is. At the end of the day, I'm not going to take it personal.
No.
It's like
but isn't it marvellous that you can be a footballer like Sturridge, who's out most of his career and getting paid £200,000 a week for not doing anything. Makes sense.
So both sides of the spectrum. Yeah. Then you got, I got a lot of mail from people who supported me and said, "Listen, you'll get back" and everything like that. And I remember Jim Perry Fox did a similar injury when he was squatting, but mine was on a hack squat. And I remember that he came back and he was able to train legs again and stuff like that. I've talked to a couple of people who had the same injury as me, and they came back from the injuries. Yeah, so that was good. So it gave me hope. Then, basically, I just knew that after that, there's no ifs or buts about it. All right, forget about competing for a second. Yeah. I need to get back to walking again. Yeah. So that was my first motivation to get walking again. Yep. So I was in braces for 3 months, you know what I mean? You're
just trying to get to the next level, next step.
Yeah, so that's what I did. So I remember I started filming myself doing a road to recovery blog for Nutrex, and which had good response.
In a way, it's a sort of a twist on how to advertise, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because recovery is probably the biggest key to successful bodybuilding as well.
Yeah, I remember I was one of the first people to start off the vlogs, which became a popular thing.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and people still talk about my video logs now. So it was good. So I got by accident, people loved my blogs, and that's why I carried on with Nutrex for so long.
Yeah,
because they liked my personality, like my blogs, you know.
Yeah.
So I was killing two birds with one stone, getting back, enjoying training, and helping Nutrex out still. Yeah. So I didn't feel like, I'm just taking, which I wouldn't have done.
Well, you did the gentleman thing, didn't you? Listen, I understand if you want to if you're going to call it a day.
Yeah,
so
I said that.
You wasn't pleading or anything.
No, I wasn't pleading. I said I understand that, definitely, you know. So, you know what, so it worked out well for both of us. We both, did well from the blog.
So you've recovered. How many shows have you done since your recovery?
No, I did the Dallas show. I came sixth in Dallas show.
What year was that?
2015. Yeah. And then the year after, last year, I competed, but my dad passed away on the day I was going to compete.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so it messed me up, messed my condition up, everything. I was just, it was no point even doing it.
That's something that you can't account for. It's just devastating.
Yeah, so that's why this time around, like now, I'm in that situation where I'm aiming to compete this year. Yep. And go for it, give it everything I got, and see what I can do.
And what show are you aiming for?
I don't know. I'm just I'm looking at the IFBB calendar. I'm looking for a show around July time. You know what I mean? August time, something like that. And hopefully, there's a couple of shows in Europe. There's Spain and Portugal and stuff like that. I'd rather compete in Europe than having to fly that far to America just to compete at the moment. I just want to get my feet wet again and get back into it, you know. And that's what I want to do. The main thing for me is now I love competing. I've got my, supplement brand, ZKK Labs. I got that. I'm doing good with that. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm coming out with my own gym equipment.
Okay.
Yeah, so, I'm going to be doing the gym equipment. But as you know yourself, John, when you train in gyms and you see these gym equipment, they always could be better.
Well, there's always improvements to be made. You know,
there always can be certain things on there.
As a bodybuilder, you know.
Yeah, what bodybuilders are looking for,
and are they engineered well?
Yes.
And it does make a difference.
Yes, it does. Yeah, so I just want to come up with some basic gym equipment what we're working on as well. So I got a few things in the pipeline, you know. So it's like not only about bodybuilding anymore for me now. It's about other things as well.
Yeah, you got to incorporate business.
Yes.
And use the mentality of a bodybuilder and put that that positive mental structure into a business.
Yeah. Like any advice I can give to people out there who are listening, who have come under hardship and injury in their life is like, listen, it's not end of the world. Just calm down, relax, be around positive people, and everything will fall into place as long as you believe in yourself. Yeah. But if you stop believing in yourself, you're just going to dig yourself a deeper hole.
Yeah, if you start feeling sorry for yourself.
Listen, don't feel, there's no reason to feel sorry for yourself. It's life.
Well, did you just see I can't think it was the guy who just lost his leg, and he put that post out on Instagram. And I can't think of his name, guy from America, and he said, I'm blessed. I'm still here. And you couldn't have seen a more positive sort of like reply. I think it was septicemia or somebody had to end up amputating his
There's
leg.
that saying in there, what's it now? I was sad because I didn't have no shoes until I saw a man with no feet.
Everyone, and that's probably the problem with all of us, especially in the Western world, the commercial aspect. Capitalism has always caused that want. There's nothing wanting to achieve things and do well.
Don't get me wrong,
but you know what I mean? At what point, if it's not going to make, not everything's going to, the more you have, it doesn't mean you're going to be more happy.
No. It's like this. One thing I have, what I did learn from my injury and everything was I realized who my true friends were. And I realized, my circle was small. Things like that. And
the circle is always smaller than you think it is.
Yes, and it's very small. And this sport and in industry is very bitchy, and it's sad because it's that way. But the thing about it is, I love training, and no matter what, whether I step on stage to compete or whether I step in the gym to show my physique or show it off for other reason, I love what I'm doing at the moment. I'm loving life. I got time for people. I got everything. You know what I mean? So it's great. And for me to compete, it's not because I want to compete because I want to be Mr. Olympia now.
Right, okay.
It's for me to compete now is because I want to prove to myself I can look the best I looked on a pro stage, and and see what I can do.
So it's all just simply then. That's why I was leading me to. So you've answered it really. It's all about Zack being the best he can be.
Yeah, be.
Well, that's the ultimate challenge with bodybuilding anyway, because that's all you can do.
Yeah, because there's people out there saying, "I want to step on that Olympia stage. I want to do this." Listen, mate, I don't want to step on the Olympia stage if I don't even get a call out.
Yeah.
What's the point, man? People don't realize how much money, time, effort, sacrifice it goes into a show. Listen, you can't get that time back, so you have to get that balance right. And people say, "Oh, you have to be selfish in this sport." Yes, you have to be selfish, but you don't need to be selfish. I understand exactly where you're coming from, and I'm not saying I got the balance right. Yeah. But the thing is that we've had a number of people's opinions on that. You either all or nothing, or you try and get the balance. But it's one of them. It's one of them endeavors that can suck you in, and you will be swallowed up, and you have to. It's like anybody who knows me and they'll know me. Like off-season time, training, everything cool. Yeah, I'm on books by everything though. Train. But when it comes to a show, switch.
Yeah.
Everything has to be done. For that 3 months, I want to give it everything, every ounce, everything. For that 3 months. You need somebody special. You need someone special to understand that.
Oh, without a doubt. I understand that. Yeah, I wasn't easy to live with me.
Yeah, you need somebody special to understand that. But then I have to say to myself, I got to be fair if I'm in a relationship or whatever, or family or whatever, that it's unfair for me to compete twice in a year, to block myself out from everybody that long. I can do it for 3-4 months.
Look at how Dottie lived for 10 years, 12 years.
Yeah, but look at the situation. Look how he is now.
Yeah, well, I understand. I mean, I look at what I was, and it was like, oof, I was ruthless.
You have
to.
I mean, you have to be a monk. You have to be a monk.
Oh, it was ruthless. I was ruthless.
Yeah, you have to be a monk. Like you said, you got that mentality, all or nothing.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I have got that mentality still.
But then you get a lot of people out there that are not, because in achieving greatness, and that greatness doesn't mean, everyone's looking at, I mean, your personal greatness, whether it be whatever the sport, this is what a lot of the modern day people, I don't think, really truly appreciate, is how much you have to be prepared to sacrifice.
Yeah, listen, and that's why I think in bodybuilding the other classes have become popular, because it's less sacrifice.
Oh, it's not. Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah. Less sacrifice.
It's not demeaning to
No.
I mean, it's hard because we're looking at
listen to me
as bodybuilders.
Listen to me. If I saw, if I was getting into the gym now and I saw a guy having to bench 5 plates and train like an animal and having to do this and do that, and then I saw somebody, a men's physique guy, still training hard, but doing everything, but he can buy nice clothes. He's got the appreciation of contracts coming towards him for clothing companies, supplement companies, everything, and he's making more money than that bodybuilder. Then you say to yourself, why do I want to bust my balls to be like him when I can enjoy my life and be like him?
Yeah, and do you think also that the look that we were once transfixed on has sort of like slowly ebbed away, and people are looking and going, well, I don't want to look like that. I want to look like that.
It's like men have become more self-conscious about themselves. They want to groom their eyebrows. They want to, fake tan and get the pedicure.
The metrosexual, they call it the metrosexual look, is it? So where people do that.
And it's like
I'm just jealous because I can't groom my hair. I have to shave it off. But it's true, isn't it? But the thing is, sadly, things do change. However, let's look at the positive side from things. Yes, the bodybuilding side is still there.
Yeah, but more people have got into this.
But more people are now training.
Yeah.
And if more people went to the gym like a lot of people are, whether it's bikini, figure, physique, bodybuilding, if they use the principles of what it's all about, which is to train, go in and get the body moving, eat well, how many people will be visiting the doctors and then going to hospital? Numbers have been dwindling.
Yeah, but the thing is, the good thing about the bodybuilding, what I like, it's always going to be the backbone of every sport.
It was the father. Whether
it's
spawned everything.
Yeah, whether it's boxing, wrestling, anything, the basics is the Joe Reader principle.
Well, the principles of bodybuilding has been the backbone of, is the godfather, call it what you like. It is the nucleus in which everything else has now developed from.
Yeah.
And that's and we can be proud. I'm proud. You're proud that we come from a time where bodybuilding was really, it was a magical time from the 80s, 90s, and even before that I was into it. But again, things do change, and so from the nucleus and that, it's Prometheus, isn't it?
Yeah.
The creator. It's boom, it's growing.
Yeah, like I said to you, there is a lot of positives from it as well, and obviously the negatives are, I'm afraid, gets emphasized more. Because of them. Because of the social media itself. But that's life.
It is.
That's life. End of the day, like I always say, is like this. We as people can just be true to ourselves. Yeah. As long as we're true to ourselves, nothing anybody can say. You know what I mean? And if people don't like you for being true, sod them.
Yeah.
It's simple, innit? That's life. As long as I'm true to myself and I keep it real with myself, that's the only person what matters, Everything else, if me and you have a disagreement on something, if we have a disagreement, but if we agree with something, great. Yeah. Great. That's life.
I think that's a very good note in which to sort of like
end on.
It's
nearly my bedtime, John.
I know, but you know what I mean. It has been quite a comic. I've enjoyed this one big time. It's been fun, but we've got one thing to do, haven't we?
We need to sound the table.
We do. Right. So do you want a blue or a black pen?
Black.
It's black. Yes. There we go, Sir King.
You know what they say? Once you go black, you ain't going back.
Oh dear. No.
What date is it today?
Sorry?
What date is it?
Friday the 13th.
Date today is the 16th of the 2nd.
The 16th? I couldn't even bloody remember what day it was.
16th of the 2nd.
I'm all over show.
It was Valentine's Day on Wednesday.
Oh, Christ. Yeah, I'm going to say 13th. Valentine's Day.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Zack,
John,
absolute pleasure. Really enjoyed it.
Just before we do finish off, is there anything you want to talk about in terms of your social media people? How do they get to follow you?
I think everybody knows how to follow me on Instagram. It's Zack King Khan, Facebook, same with guys.
It's all over the place.
If you want to find me, just get the bat sign out and flash it, and I'll come to your rescue.
we could have a little and large show here, couldn't we, in training? We could cover that side of things.
Definitely. Right. Well, thanks very much.
It's been great. Cheers. Zack, you're a star.
Peace out.
Peace out, buddy.
That's a wrap. Good night, guys.
Cheers.
1, 2, 3, 4.